Does that affect this other guy?
Okay, we are streaming now, so it should automatically pick up that we are on.
Because I'm still seeing him.
Hmm.
Nope, there we go.
Yeah,
It
there it
just
is.
you might have to refresh.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, that was a what was it, like a 15 to 20-second delay or something like that. I don't I don't need more Windows features.
There we go. Oh, well, I have to have an ad first, apparently. Fuck.
Apparently. Let's see. I'm gonna set this to 3 a.m. I know that's in the past. Leave me alone. Okay.
No, the next one.
There. It just got an update. Why do I need more updates? No, I don't want to restart now.
Oh my god. Are we on? Are we live?
Oh yeah, we're totally live.
Hi! Not that I think there's a lot of people in right now, but...
Oh, not yet. They'll be here.
Yeah.
Oh, and the kill counter's live. Yay.
Yes.
The duck owned counter.
Oh, so, Addie, I'm so happy.
What?
I am
What?
so incredibly happy.
Why?
Crab basket.
Who told you you could be happy?
So,
It's his birthday. It's his birthday. That's why he's happy.
that's
Oh,
not
so
it.
what?
That's not it.
Damn it.
So I enlisted help from Underoos, and we successfully got Birdie to watch all of Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Oh no.
Oh yes. I admit it's pretty funny.
And who is your
But now
favorite character?
Do I have to answer?
Mm-hmm.
Only because it's your birthday. Vegeta.
Well, I mean, Vegeta should be the favorite character anyway, unless it's Piccolo. Those are pretty
I-
much
I-
the acceptable answers.
Yeah, well, I dig Piccolo too, but just I don't know, just yeah, Vegeta. It's the just the flagrant asshole that he is. I kind of love it.
But he really loves his wife.
That's true.
He's a flagrant asshole to everybody except for his wife.
Because she is strong enough, like emotionally and mentally and everything, that like she's probably the one person that he is the one person that's not a super powerful thing or whatever that he's actually afraid of.
Yeah, pretty much she could like beat his ass, I think, and he'd let her.
Mm-hmm. And we are
That sounds familiar.
yeah. And oh dear. Okay. Well, I guess we should go ahead and get started. Oh my god. I can't tell if anyone's in yet.
We've got a couple people. I think Hush and she. Yeah, looks like it.
Let me see if I can refresh this thing.
Hello.
Excuse me for just a second. I'm gonna refresh the oh, there it is. Yay! Oh god, what happened?
What? What happened? Something
Um,
happened?
yeah, I think my game borked itself.
I'm still
Why
thinking.
is it borking? Don't let it bork.
I mean, Comcast just upgraded our service. It shouldn't be borking.
Bork, bork, bork. There's a town in Poland called Malbork, and every
Yeah.
single time when we went to Kraków, I think we passed by Is it on the way to Kraków or is it on the way to Gdańsk? God damn, I don't remember. Either way, we passed it on the train, and so it became sort of a thing with my husband and I that we said Bork a lot the whole trip. And birds just were automatically Borks, and they were borking it up.
Bork, bork.
Yes.
Okay, so it looks like Diablo 3 has crashed for me. So
way to go.
Yeah.
Yay, it wasn't me this time.
All right, trying again.
Standing by.
Stand by to Bork.
Stand by to stand by.
Can people still hear us? It's just
Oh yeah, the stream didn't die. It was just my game died.
Yeah.
There we go. Whew, that could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Don't put that out there, man.
Wait, you know what? I think this counts. Bong! Yes, friends. Yes, friends, the death duck counter has gone meta.
Oh yes, and tonight's stream is brought to you by Reese's.
What? Reese's?
Reese's.
Like Reese's?
Yeah. Like a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Ah!
Yeah, only this time we've got this. There's a new thing called Reese's Clusters. Creamy peanut butter, caramel peanuts, and pecans wrapped in milk chocolate. It's like a miniature Goo Goo cluster.
Goo.
Those of us with sensitive or brittle teeth, this actually isn't that, like, I can taste the caramel, but it's not like, it's not gooey and stretchy to the point where it's gonna like rip half your teeth off.
No, my issue is with hard candy. I actually broke a piece of my molar off on those Lego block candies.
That'll do it.
Ow.
Yeah, I can still feel it, like, because it was pretty recent. Like, I think it was not this past Halloween, but the Halloween before.
Yikes.
And
Wow.
Yeah. And part of the problem was that at the time I had a temporary filling in that tooth because they weren't sure if they were going to have to do a root canal or not. So they put sort of like a temporary one to let the area heal up, essentially, so that they weren't traumatizing it too much. And then they would do a proper filling after. And so, like, it was basically, like, there was a kind of a part of my tooth that was sticking out more than it should because the filling was sort of concave, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's the part of the tooth that broke.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It didn't hurt or anything, but I was concerned that it was going to cause more problems, right? So I was kind of like, well, that sucked. And then when they did the filling, he didn't really, like, fix it that well. And so every once in a while, I still catch my tooth on it and it hurts, and I'll, like, cut my tongue on the little sharp part of my tooth. It's fabulous. And that's my story for the beginning of our evening.
Yay!
So what do we want to do? Do we want to do more bounties today, or do we want to do some rifting first and then?
I was looking at the season.
Oh yes,
things. We still need to. We got to hit level 50, which we'll do tonight. We got to do a Nephilim rift, and I've got to get enough gear that I can socket some more gems because we get a socket 5.
Well, we'll be able to do that at least by the time we get to 70. Like,
right.
Which is really, like, none of these. We're not going to be able to get much beyond chapter 1 done until we hit 70 anyway. So, yeah. So I guess we should do a rift then.
Sure.
Riftity rift rift.
So yeah, I have very I have brittle teeth, and it's genetic. Like, my great grandmother had very brittle teeth, and so.
Okay, I forgot that I'm sorry that I'm a squishy thing.
I forgot that I wasn't.
Well,
or,
so do we,
you know, no more than usual.
Anyway, sorry, you were saying your grandmother had nasty teeth or something?
Yeah, like very, very brittle and degenerative and whatnot, and so like it was weird. No matter how much I would brush my teeth, I would still get cavities, and I'm like, sure, I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, but what the hell? And then my wisdom teeth came in, which I got the lottery on that one and got all 4 of my wisdom teeth that came in completely, perfectly in line, and everything was fine, except that, like, one of them was breaking through the gum, and the other 3 hadn't come in yet. But my dentist said, okay, we're going to do some x-rays and just make sure that everything's in line, because at the time I had braces. And he said, now granted, I've known, like, I had been going to this dentist for a very long time, so we had a good rapport. He said, the good news is, your teeth are all coming in line, we don't really have to worry about taking any of them out. The bad news is, they're all coming in with cavities.
Oh, jeez.
And then his very next line, you're genetically defective.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Like,
Doc.
thanks, Doc.
Tell me something I don't know.
That was something similar. Like, my last dentist was pretty bad. Like, I just...
Oh, hi, Kinchi.
Oh, is Kinchi here?
Over on,
there we go.
over
Hello.
on YouTube, yeah.
But yeah, so my previous dentist was not very good, like kind of very unsympathetic sort of guy. You know, like when I was kind of understandably freaking out because I, like many people, have issues with dentists
Oh,
and
yeah.
dental procedures. He was just kind of like, oh, it's not that bad, basically. And like he would sort of diminish my anxiety instead of, you know, just sort of like, I mean, I know it's irrational, right? Like I just need some sort of acknowledgement of, like, you know, sympathy, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just, after a while, it was getting so bad that I wouldn't even go. Like, I would constantly cancel my appointments. Like, I just couldn't even imagine having to go when I basically felt like crap going to him, you know?
Mhm.
Like, and again, I knew it was irrational and silly. It's just, I couldn't help it. Like, I mean, it's not like I can change how I feel just by the snap of a fucking finger because I don't like it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and because I mean, if we could, then oh, what a different world we would be in.
Hey, Duck, you went back to hosting.
That's weird.
I just noticed. Yeah.
Try refreshing again.
Yeah, I know that Hush had to refresh.
I may have to stop auto-hosting on certain things. Because, like, it's supposed to, like, whenever
Okay,
you
there we go.
stream, whenever
Yeah, it
you
should prioritize you.
yeah. It's weird.
No, it's good. I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, good. Anywho, so I finally switched to my husband's dentist, and like they're always really, really nice. Like, I mean, the one dental assistant like holds my hand through the whole thing, and
Oh, wow.
you know, like they're, and even the dentist himself is like, yeah, no, I don't like this shit either. Like, I mean, he doesn't mind doing it. He doesn't enjoy the experience any more than anyone else generally does. Like, not that I'm saying that some people enjoy it, but you know what I mean. Like, that there are people who don't mind. Like, they're cool with whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
And
Right.
he's one of those people that, you know, he's like, no, I take the freezing if I need to. I'd rather get knocked out if I can, and that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, that actually did make me feel a lot better, knowing that even someone who understands all of it and knows how to do it and everything is still, you know, he understands the irrationality kind of thing. So anyway, blah-de blah.
No, I'm hunting for a new dentist for Duck and I, just because the guy that I went to, first of all, I have some weird political problems with him, and the other reason is because just I didn't like his dental assistants. He was more or less fine, but
Yeah,
his
but I mean, the
assistant
dental
was
assistants sort
awful.
of do a lot of, yeah. I mean, they're pretty much part of the process, so. But yeah, so like when we first kind of when I started seeing him, he obviously asked me a lot of questions about my dental history and all that kind of stuff. And so he wanted to know about my parents' teeth and um, essentially confirmed that, you know, I have shitty teeth from both of my parents for different reasons. Because basically my top row of teeth is my mom's and my bottom row of teeth is my dad's.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
We can get this one.
Yeah, like, I want to say my grandfather has had dentures for at least 30 years. Though I do wonder if part of that was just because we were all, for lack of a better word, poor. So I don't know if that was just from behavior or if that was actual, like, you have genetic problems and therefore dentures are just easier for you.
Generally speaking, teeth is about 85% genetics.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. It was like, I mean, basically, there are points where no matter how much you brush or floss or take care, for some people, it won't make a difference. Like, I am very prone to cavities regardless of what I do. Just because of my particular genetic lottery with my parents' teeth.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've generally also had very good dental care. I mean, I had like the fluoride treatments of fucking hellishness.
Oh
Oh,
god,
those are
those
awful.
things. I
What
hate
did you
those
bring me?
things.
My mom's home with food.
Ooh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
David's asleep. He doesn't get anything. My friend said hi to you. I don't know if you can hear her, but you can probably hear my dog choking. Because he's so excited that she's home. Oh, pate. Well, I know. Yeah. My aunt made pate and some sort of... I forget what these are called. Huh? Pasta chiki? They're pasta chiki.
Ooh.
Which basically it's like little pastries with pate inside.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do want, can have.
I would share if I could.
I'd share my Reese's.
Ow. 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 How
You guys are
did
so
I
far away from
miss?
me.
Yeah, we're dealing with the boss.
How's that going for you?
Pretty well. Just
Okay.
sentries. Ow, ow.
There, I'm there to kill him.
There we go. Wow! I got credit for that one. This is all gonna change as soon as we get to 70. I'm just... I have resigned myself to that.
I just want to get this chest for what good.
Oh, there's a chest over here.
Yes. Okay, now back to town.
Oh, there was another one over here.
Another one.
Another chest.
Oh, god damn it. I don't have room in my shit bags anymore. And of course all this shit has to be...
Ooh, hello. Oh god, no, 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 no. We will get rid of shit to carry you.
What, did you get a legendary?
Yeah. Are we good? Okay.
Can I close?
I'm good. I'm good to close.
Yay, achievements. Celebrating mediocrity.
see what all
Maybe
can
I
I...
should make the Augiled set.
Ooh, hello.
For now.
Yeah, I'm running around in part of it.
Let's see if there's anything else worth... Okay. Fist of the
Because it gives me a little more
Heavens.
defense.
Is that what I've got? No, it's Falling Sword. Okay. Aw, man. Do I need to cube that? I think I need to cube that. Can I cube that? No, I can't cube that yet. Damn. Okay.
All right.
Now what?
Well, I'm just gonna check and see if we're at the level where a green gem or a red gem are better for my damage. Still red right now.
Okay, let's see how my gems are doing. Apparently I'm starting to sing whenever I talk now. Yay! I didn't want that. Give me... There. Let's see... When in doubt, take resistance. For me, anyway. What is it? There we go. I almost forgot how to split stacks.
Alright, let's see here. Chapter 1 objectives. We just need to reach level 50. And where am I at with knowing what I'm doing?
Well, it's gonna be one of those nights, folks.
As usual.
Oh, so, okay. Something embarrassing. I've got one.
Were you thinking about this all week?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No. No, I just had to... I had to pretend to be aggressively normal today.
Ooh, that sounds awkward.
Ugh. Normalcy.
So, with our Thanksgiving coming up, in our state, well, I should say in a lot of states in the U.S., one of the things that most, well, there's going to be sports ball all over the place on Thanksgiving.
Yay, sports ball.
Specifically of the American football kind. And
way to go, local sports team.
Yeah.
Except that it's not. These people cheer for college teams that neither they nor their parents nor their children or ever have gone to. I don't understand it. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, please, tell me how you really feel, dear.
Yeah.
It's fucking retarded. That's how I feel.
Oh, bye.
So, case in point, I was asked today to choose who I am rooting for in the upcoming Iron Bowl. In college football, the Iron Bowl is the big game of the rivalry between Alabama and Auburn University.
Why are they rivals? No one fucking knows. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. Sorry, go ahead.
It's probably the same.
Such anger, such rage. I'm digging it.
I've had to live in this state my entire life, and I hate it.
Yeah, see, I'm originally a Tennessee boy, and so, like, I don't get the... Like, I get the rival to an extent, but not to their extreme. So,
Well, like, and I'm all for a good, honest to God, like, sports rivalry. That's fine. Like, and I don't mind the schools, like, amping it up to, you know, sell tickets or whatever. But what I don't understand, again, is the people that have no connection to the school whatsoever, other than just arbitrarily following the team.
I don't know. Sports are a fandom.
It is a
everybody's
fandom.
Crazy.
I had a... okay, I admit, I had a great joke on this. I've been sitting on this one for a while. The thing that
boy.
pisses
Well, I'm glad
me...
that I got to set that up for you.
The thing that pisses me off about sports fandoms more than any other fandom, or the thing that most other fandoms are pissed off about sports fandoms for, is they're guaranteed to renew for another fucking season.
Oh, yep.
That's
That's very true.
I'm not even gonna laugh because it's not
It's
funny.
real.
It's just sad.
Yeah. Too real. Not to mention that if you see somebody with their house completely covered in like a sports team's thing, nobody's like, "Isn't it time to grow up, honey?"
Yeah,
Right?
seriously.
Time you let that go.
Oh, Goblin.
And I'm like, obviously, and I disclaim this with saying, obviously, I have absolutely no problem with anybody having a sport that they love and being, you know, a huge fan of it and wallpapering their house in sports paraphernalia. That's fine. My issue is just that, you know, it's somehow legitimized compared to, you know, all the other stuff when it doesn't engage you on an emotional level in quite the same way, unless maybe it's wrestling. Maybe. You know, but, because I mean, there are, you know, wackadoo storylines and everything that everybody gets into with that, but, like, in general, it's like I don't sit there at a hockey game and go, oh man, like, you know, I wonder how the relationship between X and Y player is gonna go this season. Like, you know.
Yeah, if I wanted...
Well, there is real people fiction for sports teams as well, so I mean...
I thought that was called Yuri on Ice.
No, I mean, like, people just actually shipping, like, just team members.
Yeah, I like that was the first thing related to sports anime that I could come up with. Oh God, what the hell?
What?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know there was a chest back here.
Not a
Whoops.
single yellow. I'm suddenly just bitter and angry.
Right? Let's explode demons. That'll do us some good.
Ah! Run away! Birdie's channeling her inner Vegeta. That's...
Now I'm currently channeling my inner wish dragon because, like, Jesus Christ, I'm so done with this shit. You guys again? Really?
Has it even been a year? Like, I grew up watching baseball because my grandmother liked the Braves. My great-grandmother was a Cubs fan. My great-grandfather was a White Sox fan. So there was a lot of fun family rivalry there.
Baseball's actually very important to my husband and his family, so... I mean, he's a huge Blue Jays fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's actually a mod on Reddit for the Blue Jays subreddit.
Wow.
Yeah. And, so, you know, like, I mean, obviously, I don't judge him for that. That's his thing. But he's one of the reasonable ones. Like, he's actually a huge dork about, like, stats and knowing all the players and where the strengths are and what the trades are and all sorts of stuff. You know, like, and he gets all excited when whatever, like certain things happen, and apparently those things can make him happy or sad or whatever. So he does have his own emotional investment in what goes on in sports, or specifically in baseball, because he really doesn't care for anything else.
Yeah.
But you know, so it's like I said with my little disclaimer and everything, I definitely have no issue with people being fans of like anything, right? Like there's a fandom, go for it. But
Yeah.
that whole legitimacy thing, that it's like you're allowed to lose your shit and spend hundreds of dollars over your favorite team, but if it's like a TV show or something, then somehow that is childish. And
yeah, what makes that less legitimate than any sport?
Like it doesn't make sense to me when it's something that's actually very engaging, and that, you know, people relate to the characters, and you can get so invested in certain character stories and everything. And I mean, like, that has no age on it either. I mean, I still end up, you know, like, I mean, there are shows and books and movies and stuff that I've seen before that I'll still fucking cry at certain parts and just be like really excited at others, or like what's the, like, you know, you get that. Sorry?
I was gonna say, see also Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, where
like that was mine.
Yeah. So there's definitely a connection there that I think most people don't lose, you know, like especially with the nostalgia and everything. We have certain things to be connected to as a kid, but I don't know. It's one of those, like, there's a I'm the worst Catholic. Like a Bible thing, you know, passage, verse, line, whatever.
Oh, that gives me life.
And I just, like, the only thing I remember from it is kind of like when I was a child, I behaved as a child or something, and it's like when I...
Oh, Corinthians 1.
I'd put away childish things, and I'm like, but why? Like, what do you mean childish things? Is there something else to that? Is there like a little footnote there that explains to me what that means? What do you mean put away childish things? What childish things? Like hopes and dreams and connecting to things and like having fun? Being happy?
that is a bullshit interpretation of that passage. Speaking as the, you know, completely defunct Southern Baptist. But like the way that I had always interpreted that is that it's, you know, I put away childish ways of emotionally handling things, because the whole passage is about like love and temperance.
Yeah, it's
like,
just that the
how
full thing doesn't usually get quoted, and people end up using it, as with other things, to kind of
control people.
Yeah, it's the same way that somebody will, you know, rant and rave about like homosexuality being against the Bible, but then they're covered in tattoos and eat shellfish. Like, it's
right.
Wearing garments made of more than one cloth and
it's
working
kind of like,
on
okay,
Sundays.
So you're literally cherry picking what applies to you.
Yeah, seriously, if the fundamentalist Christians are so hell-bent about trying to follow things in Exodus and Leviticus, then they better suck up that there's not going to be one damn bit of service on Sunday lunch.
Yep. Sorry,
that was just my little... yeah, I'm good now.
We all have our little rages. It's fine.
We're all just pissed today.
Yeah.
I'm fucking mad.
Fuck that, I'm pissed, let's fight. Where are we going to now?
Where I am.
Okay. Oh, shit. Alright.
Maybe not so closely.
I was getting another cluster.
Yeah, there is a cluster right there. Get it? I made it funny.
You're fired.
Probably for the best. All my jokes are terrible. It's what I do. These flying bastards, go away. Stop harassing me.
Now we're splitting up.
Well, because I'm following the arrow.
Oh, there's an arrow up here, too.
Well, that's the blue arrow. We want the golden arrow.
That's where I was going. We are so good at this.
I am. I don't know what your problem is. I'm awesome. Except when these fuckers are following me. Just let me live.
Come on, everyone, pay attention to me. I'm supposed to be the one that dies. That's what makes this funny. So how's everyone in the channel doing? Anything anybody else wants to get pissed off about, let's do it.
Yeah. We'll call it vent hour.
Ah, yeah.
If people still used Ventrilo, it could be vent on vent.
Oh man, I remember vent.
Me too.
I like the little buzz sound whenever somebody hit the push to talk.
Burp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vent was actually pretty good though, all things considered.
It really was.
It depended on who was hosting, because some people just didn't know what they were doing, and they were like, I don't know.
That would have been me. Yes, my profession is I am an IT professional, but some things I just absolutely suck at.
I'm laughing at She's Vent. That's what you get for trying to take an art shortcut.
There are no shortcuts in art. All suffering all the way to the bottom.
Oh, good. Another one of these. No, don't touch that yet.
Why did
Okay.
I do that?
Oh, I was talking to me. I mean,
Oh, no. I'm talking to myself. Why did I do that? As in, why did I happen to look over to the chat and like the Hanagram chat and see what
Don't do it.
that was?
oh, don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad for you.
Yeah. I shouldn't have. And now I regret everything.
I should have had. I should have put on that rune. I think it's on the Crusader that just draws others in.
Yes, you should have that. Monks have it too. Oh my god, we're not gonna make it. Nope. We're not.
Aww.
Well, we're still gonna get the chest, we're just not gonna get some fancy freaking
Ooh, I apparently got a legendary.
thingy. What's it called?
Oh, the bonus.
Shrine.
Oh, Jesus, I've got to go back to town.
As do I.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
I haven't gotten any legendaries since we started.
Wow. Usually that's me.
Mm-hmm. Are you stealing my power?
Probably.
Not willingly.
There are rules.
I swear I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, right. You've been waiting for this moment, haven't you?
Not so much waiting as wondering if it would ever happen.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have one of these fucking pasta... What the fuck did I say?
I don't know.
Pasta cheeky or something? Pasta cheeky, I think? I don't fucking know. Something Polish.
Something Polish with way too many consonants.
Just enough, thank you very much. Shut up, Loki, you're not getting any.
Aww.
Loki agrees with me.
Yeah, he's whining at me.
Ooh, yes, I want reduction of cooldowns. Okay. Oh god. Aw, look at me not standing in stupid for once.
We're proud of you.
Very. Oh
I
my
love
god,
that you almost
Loki.
just ran in front of the furnace.
Almost being the operative word.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Loki, shut up. If you need to go out, I can't do it for you because I'm busy and this is more important than you. He's just looking at me like, how could you say that?
That betrayal.
What, Loki? What? Use your words. Don't sniff me. That's not using your words at all.
Where are our kitties? I have no kitties back here.
Loki, why are you all up in my face? So he is like sniffing the fuck out of my face right now. Like,
Aww.
oh, it's probably the pashtet.
Like, oh, do you want to give me kisses? No, I want your food.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give kisses. Fuck off. Like, okay, I have a cat in front of my monitor right now, and I can't see anything.
That is the proper place for a kitty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now really glad my desk is not very large.
That doesn't save you. Mine's not very big either, and they still will sit on me.
That's fair.
Damn it, Foof.
It's the Foof. Hi, Foof.
Oh, why would you give us a shrine and then have nothing nearby?
To taunt you.
Oh, great. Now he's taunting us. This is just embarrassing. So yeah, I about had a, I almost had a freak out today, cause oh, is this Kitty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the baby.
Trying to get them pashtet things.
Oh God. Okay, what's next here? Oh.
Sorry, I was lagging behind because of the dog.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, so I had
gave it up to let him out actually.
I had a bit of a almost a freak out today, because so the whole thing with my parents wanting Thanksgiving and everything. Sorry, cluster. So my mom called, and we were talking a little bit, and the whole thing was we're going to see them for Thanksgiving because they weren't really doing anything for Christmas. And so we're talking and everything, and then Mom mentions Christmas, and I'm like, wait. Hold a minute with the Christmas. I was...
Ooh. I'm gonna die, guys. Where are you?
Oh, I'm coming.
Anyway, you were saying?
So yeah, we had to have a few minutes of clarification going, we're not... why are you asking about Christmas? You said you weren't doing Christmas. What the hell?
You're staying home for Christmas because you wanted 24 hours at Thanksgiving and to make us drive 5 to 6 hours.
Like, pick one.
Yeah, it's like, you get one, sorry.
Oh, I got a legendary. Ah, it's just Squirt's necklace. I mean, it'll do fine for now, but fuck.
That what Mum was trying to convey and failing at was that she wants to find time for us to quote unquote have our Christmas, even though it won't be on Christmas. And like, it's gonna have to be after the new year.
Way after.
Like possibly next Christmas.
I mean, I actually don't have, like, basically once Thanksgiving, we roll over into Thanksgiving, I literally have no free time until, like, until after New Year's.
Yeah, damn Nutcracker.
Well, it's Nutcracker, and then I'm also doing, Symphony, and also I have a church job.
Right,
so.
right.
But then I'm also doing the New Year's concert for the Symphony, which is going to be awesome, and I can't wait to do it. I don't mean to make it sound like I'm bitching about my job, because my job's awesome. But, yeah.
No, but I mean,
still no
it's
free
still,
time.
yeah.
It's like, if you actually are expecting to hang out with me anytime during the holidays, just pretend I work retail.
And granted, it's much better than retail, but the availability is about the same.
Yep. It's gom time.
Nom nom.
Nom 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 nom.
Gom. Nom gom. Why am I 5? I don't. I can't help it.
Splort. Oh god.
He fell right on the chest. What a dick.
Not one legendary. Ooh, but I do have some things. Alright, we'll swap out that. We'll swap out that. Oh.
Okay, I have to BRB 1 sec because the dog probably needs to go out, so I need to wake up David because otherwise I'll end like I have no idea how long the dog will take otherwise. So.
Right. So anyway, how is everyone doing out in the channel?
I hear puppy feet.
Let's see. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Wonder, can I upgrade these? Oh, yeah, Fee, I imagine I'm going to fall over, almost promptly around 10 o'clock. I don't want to get rid of that one. Yeah, I've been doing this weird thing where I'm waking up at 4 in the morning for no freaking reason.
Me too. It's great. I mean, I usually have to pee. That's part of the reason, but... But that's what I get for drinking coffee at midnight.
Pulled a Vegeta. Wake up. I have to pee!
BRB.
I'm all alone now. Okay. Well, I guess, okay, so what I'm doing right now, I guess if nothing else, I can fill the time with what's going through my head as I'm going through all this. I need to have as much resistance as possible. So I think I'm gonna combine... Oh shit, maybe not. Oh no, that'll be fine. Oh, sweet.
I have returned.
Ah, my friend, you have returned. Quickly, did you bring the page?
Oh, call me Tits Atris.
Oh my fucking god. So Loki is basically losing his mind because of these pasta cheeky things. Like, I gave one to David and I had the bag, and I have never seen Loki so... Like... He's so hopeful, it's like pouring out of him.
Aww.
And he keeps on looking back and forth, and he's like... like...
Aww.
It's so fucking funny. Oh my god. And he ain't getting shit.
Poor puppy.
Oh, it's people food. He shouldn't have it.
But saddest puppy.
Yes, poor little baby. Now he's still coming over here sniffing at me.
Maybe if I beg enough, I'll get food.
He's clearly starving and dying.
Yeah. Wasting away.
Okay. So yeah, my verdict, the Reese's clusters are an absolute wonderful hit.
I can't get over you guys calling it Reese's. I've never heard that. Like, is that on purpose? Is that a thing that you do, or is that just like how you're pronouncing it?
That's just how I pronounce it.
That's the way I've always pronounced it. I mean, like
Like, the name is Reese, so it's like, if it belongs to Reese, it's Reese's, right?
yeah, I don't know. I guess I never thought about it.
Yeah. It's
It's
just...
Reese's.
I'm not saying that it's bad, it's just I've never heard it, you know? So it's like...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I'm trying to think of who I know that said where I would have picked that up. Because I don't know anybody else who says it. I think maybe I was just being cute one day, and that I just have always called it Reese's.
Makes sense to me.
Because like I'm sitting here like racking my brain, like trying to remember how my parents pronounce it, and I don't think they say. I think they say Reese's. Because like
Wait,
it's
people in America...
Oh, I know why
really?
it is. I know why. It's because it's Reese's Pieces. Is the way a lot of people say it.
It's
Reese's Pieces.
Pieces.
No, Reese's
Because
Pieces.
When you say pieces, it's the word, like the word multiple, like more than one piece. It's pieces. Reese's Pieces.
Reese's
I've
Pieces.
literally never... Thank you! I've literally never heard it like that.
Maybe it's just we're all five, and this is how we've always pronounced it, so that's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Like Biscotti.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually more fan of the clusters than I am of the peanut butter trees.
See, I'm weird. I'm the opposite. I actually like the trees better because the peanut butter's saltier.
The heck?
Because we all know I love me some salt.
Why am I still zoomed in?
Well, Bird, if you want, you can have the rest of my trees. Uh-oh. No, Addie's left us. Ah.
I just, for some reason, I was, like, when I was getting out of my inventory, I was still zoomed in.
That's
Like,
weird.
you know how it zooms in whenever you open up your bags?
All of mine
But
left.
now that I've restarted, like, I just left and came back in, and it...
There's only like 4 of them.
Yeah, I only had a couple of the trees there. There we go.
Pac-Man Abomination? What?
Yeah.
They don't taste very strong.
Yeah, I don't know what these Pac-Man Abominations things, I don't get it. Oh my god. Okay, I need someone to confirm this, but because I saw it while I was at work, and I couldn't actually click on the link at work. I think I saw a report saying that Kinder eggs are now legal in the U.S.
What?
They aren't going to be like the ones in Canada and Europe, but yes, we do have them now. I think what's inside of them has to be edible.
Oh.
That's still ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit on cheese biscuits, but what can you do?
I mean, they're still called Kinder eggs, but they're not the actual ones that you would get in other countries. How are my skills looking? I haven't even looked at these lately.
Oh yeah, that.
Charge, lightning,
Oops,
explodes.
why did I do that? I just clicked on something. I did not want to go there.
Cracked. All right, smaller hammers. Seeks out nearby target. The nearby thing might be useful at some point.
I should probably open up my skill tree thing, or my build that I want. Well, you know what I mean. Sure.
Yeah. Increase damage and area of effect, as opposed to charged with lightning and occasionally arcs. Now let's go with limitless, because more damage. Blinded enemies take more damage. Sometimes be charmed. No. Gain wrath. For, nah. Not really having a problem with wrath. No. Alright. Stay on that one. Stay on target. Increase duration. That explodes. Let's try that one. See if that one works. Okay, we're still doing the attack speed. Stun, critical hit. Ooh, yes please. I could use that. Falling sword. Do that one. Oh no, I can no longer dodge. No.
Well, that won't end terribly.
Okay.
Hey, Zach, do me a favor. Open your skills back up and go back to your passives, and I would like you to hover over the Lord Commander and please read the flavor text.
You will follow or you will fail. Fall. You will follow or you will fall. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. I was curious if it was, as in Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
No.
Because there are Game of Thrones Easter eggs in this game.
Oh, yeah.
There's a sand or claw game. That's the flavor text calls him the Mountain.
Which itchy palm is the money one? I'm missing something. Oh god, where is everybody? I was all alone there for a second.
You are alone. We're all alone.
Oh.
I was stuck in Night Vale for a second, sorry.
Oh boy.
It happens.
Have you read any of the novels for them, speaking of books, End of Night Vale?
No, I'm actually not even caught up on the actual series. Because, you know, other stuff.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What do I want to do here? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, we're pretty close to 50. That would get us
I'm
our...
just trying to fix up my skills right now. Do I have ambush?
There's a wives' tale that if your palm itches, you're coming into money, but it's only one, and I can never remember which. I vaguely remember something like that. I thought it was your left hand? I don't remember. Like, I think I remember hearing that, but I'm kind of with you. I don't remember which hand it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Thank you, Cat.
Oh, hello, cat.
Kitty cat.
That's a fabulous doggy grin.
So, where shall we go? Or are we just gonna keep doing bounties until we get to 50 or 70?
I was gonna do bounties, I
Alright.
guess, and see how that goes.
Left is paying, right is receiving. Okay. Thank you,
I
Cat.
thought I was singing the Polish birthday song, but I actually don't know it, and my accent is terrible, and also I can't sing. So you just get one stolat.
Yay. We're so cultured.
Because we don't say happy birthday in Polish, we just say 100 years.
Huh.
Interesting.
Well, it's much easier to say than like wszystkiego najlepszego w urodzin, or w dniu urodzin. So, dniu urodzin, I think. Oh, now David's trying to sing it. He went stolat. That's all I know. The next part goes niech żyje nam, which is like kind of let him live on sort of thing.
Oh, it's like it's
So
like
it's wishing you 100 years of life.
that's sort of like doing the like whenever you sing happy birthday here, some people tack on the and many more at the end of it.
Yes. Except this whole song is basically 100 years. Yeah. There's a whole other verse too, but like for whatever reason, oh my god, something's killing me and interrupting me. Anyway.
Oh god. Okay. We were going
For
towards
whatever
the
reason, my family didn't sing it like most of our lives, and then my cousin and my brother and I, one year, like they just started singing it, and we were all like, "Wait, there's another verse?" And I think we were like already in our early 20s by this point, and they were like, "Yeah, there's always been another verse," and we're like, "We literally have never fucking heard it. Like, how come all of a sudden now you've decided to start singing the other verse to this?" And now they do it every time, and the rest of us don't fucking know it because we didn't learn it as kids. So we're just like, "Oh, you guys are singing it too fast," and we have no clue at all.
Did I hear a treasure goblin in here?
Well, if there was, we have to do this first.
Right. That one. And that one. And for us, whenever like it's kind of oh geez, where did we get it from? Did we get it from 2? The whole
Yes.
okay.
We got our birthday song from 2. To the Ranting Griffin. And our birthday song goes, "This is your birthday song. It isn't very long."
The end. I'm not finding any goblin.
Okay.
So I think maybe you're just crazy.
And?
Wouldn't be the first time.
And let's go to the next one.
Seems unwise.
Okay, Birdie, going to you.
I picked a direction.
That's where I was going, but apparently I interrupted myself somehow. Because then I looked back over to my screen and I'm like, why did I not?
Oh, goody, we get to kill Malthael in this.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah. Hey, David. Pizza. I still have some in the microwave. Bring me.
Splort.
Thank you. With my pineapple.
Weirdo.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with pineapple.
There's
say
everything
that
in
is
the
such
universe
a-
wrong with pineapple.
There is not. Pizza and
That's
pineapple
all.
belong together.
You can sit there and be in your wrongness and be wrong and get used to it.
I like pineapple. Well, good for you, you're wrong.
It's just funny how controversial pineapple on pizza to be. Like, it becomes this whole big thing.
No, I get it. I have a no vegetable matter on pizza rule.
You fool! And Sam is running around the house like a crazy cat. She might have a
kitty.
sock. All I hear is like running past the door.
This has things to say. Oh, Birdie, I think Cat is calling you out.
That's why I termed it vegetable matter, as in vegetation.
Oh, as in the only thing that should be on pizza are animals?
Yes. Animals and cheese. I mean, other than the tomato sauce, obviously.
I actually don't really care for meat on pizza.
Oh god, it's all I ever eat on pizza. I'm like that person that has like an entire cow on their pizza.
Like, I'll eat it unless it's sausage. I like pepperoni. I do not like sausage.
I'm picky about sausage. I usually like pepperoni. I like ham. My favorite pizza is ham and bacon.
See, I would eat a ham and bacon pizza. It's just not something I would order on my own. If left to my own devices, it's generally mushrooms, pineapple, goat cheese.
Oh, wow.
You're bizarre. It's okay. I still love you.
Well, that's a relief.
Like, yeah, I don't care.
I will sit here enjoying my right pizza.
Whatever.
See, for a vegetarian option, I like going with spinach and mushroom, with just regular tomato sauce and cheese. As far as a meat type pizza. I'm a pepperoni fan. I'm an Italian sausage fan. For me, it doesn't matter if it's like the ground Italian sausage or if you've got like slice. Really, the only time I like ham is if it's with pineapple. Like if I'm gonna order ham, I'm ordering pineapple with it.
Although, I mean, if you've never had mushrooms, then I don't know. It depends on your expectations.
Mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
Nature's tofu.
What's that supposed to mean? Huh?
It means no. I mean, I say that because to me, mushrooms, its sole purpose is to soak up whatever other flavors are around it and like enhance it that way.
That's fair.
That's
Like-
why sautéing mushrooms with white wine is the best thing ever.
Yep. Especially if there's butter involved.
Oh yes, butter and white wine. Oh, now I want that. I want that so bad.
We actually sort of had that for dinner. I made chicken piccata that had mushrooms in it.
David made pizza, so that's why I have my delicious, fancy mushroom and pineapple. No goat cheese though, but that's okay because this stuff is good anyway. And it's like, you know, not exactly from scratch or anything, but it's like a nice little homemade pizza thing that David makes that I like.
Yeah, Cat, I think, like, it's, you have to have mushrooms with the right stuff in order for it to be a good experience.
Well, and I mean, it depends on what people tend to favor in terms of, like, flavor. Because some people think that mushrooms just taste like dirt. But I don't get that at all. When I eat mushrooms, I don't sense dirt. Like, that's not what it tastes like.
Right. Yeah, no, me neither. They taste kind of earthy, yeah, but it doesn't taste like dirt.
Like, I mean, it's hard to, I guess earthy, yeah, but like, they taste like mushrooms. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I feel like like, you can have them raw, like, on a salad, and it'll...
I don't enjoy them raw very much. But that's more of a texture thing.
Yeah.
than a flavor thing.
Yeah, I will eat them raw, but it's not my favorite. Like, I'll eat it, you know, if it's on my salad, I'm not going to be like,
Yeah,
oh god, no. But,
Exactly,
you know,
yeah,
I'm not
if
going
it's
to pick
like-
up a mushroom and eat it. Like, unlike some weird people I could name.
Why?
But like sometimes you get those like veggie trays or whatever that come with raw mushrooms as one of the selections, and I'll eat those. But if I were to make a veggie tray, I would not do that.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like you have to have the right type of dressing to go with a raw mushroom.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah, you don't
pinged
want
me
something
on
too acidic.
Hang on a second. Who is
Call them. Shut the hell up. You're busy. Oh, salad for me is usually filled with beets or cucumbers. Or
Oh,
both.
you found one of the few vegetables that Duck doesn't like. He does not like beets. To be
you're
fair,
both wrong.
I'm not a huge fan either.
Oh my god.
I won't like not eat them, but it's definitely not a favorite. There is something
But
to
then
me
again, I'm
that-
Polish, so you know, beets, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to survive the winter,
like? I totally
Yes,
blame.
fat beets.
I totally blame upbringing for my hatred of beets, because the way in which my dad prepared them was taking them out of the can, putting them on the plate.
Wait, can?
Yes.
oh yeah,
Can. Like,
Canned.
Canned beets.
Yep.
Yeah, with that red stuff that never comes out of any clothes ever.
Beets taste delicious. They're a little bit sweet, and they have the texture of, like, potatoes. Maybe slightly grainier, but not by much.
These were
But yeah, like, I mean, borscht or borscht, as some people
borscht.
better know it. In Polish, it's barszcz.
Ah.
It's red beet soup, and that's like normally we have chicken soup in my family, but in like during Christmas time,
Ooh.
like Christmas Eve is the more important day, I guess, for the holiday. And we can't have meat because of the whole Catholic thing, I guess. And so we end up having barszcz instead of chicken soup. And there's these like little tortellini things that are filled with mushrooms, and we have mushroom pierogies.
Oh, nice. Oh, bird,
I'm your
rare,
house for Christmas.
rare wand for you, bird. I don't know if you need it. No,
No, I'm good. Do you want it back?
Nah. Just trying to make the numbers go higher and do more numbers and...
Play Rift.
Oh yeah, so that was Squirrel that was tagging me on Steam, telling me to play Path of Exile.
No. I literally this past week reinstalled it to be like, okay, let me try this again. I got to level 2.
Yeah, I tried. I couldn't.
And I'm just like, fuck it. It's not. I don't understand why people were freaking losing their minds over it. It was fun to me. And like it was, my husband and I were talking about it the other day because like one of the things that people originally bitched about Diablo 3 for, and the reason why they were all like, oh, you know, I love Path of Exile so much more, is like there were all these issues that they had, but that was with like Diablo 3 at launch, which pretty much every issue that Diablo 3 had since launch has been fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, they're like, oh, you know, in the cash auction house, blah blah blah. Well, what do I see when I logged on after so many months, or possibly over a year since I last went on, is that there is actually an in-game cash shop for like cosmetic items and stuff. And I'm just kind of like, and yet Diablo 3 doesn't have that. Like, you don't really, the only way that you get like purchasable cosmetic items in Diablo is to purchase expansions or other games, and it's like a special promotion. But it's not like, oh, you can just buy all these different like wings and things in the game.
Yeah, like I think I could get the wings that Birdie's got right now if I upgraded to the digital deluxe, which I like them. I think they'd be pretty cool, but I would not be surprised if I do that and the next season something else comes out that I'm like, ooh, I like that better, and then I've just wasted my money.
Get them because that was, I think, specifically for pre-order digital deluxe, because I have digital deluxe and I don't have those wings.
Oh.
So it was a special promo back when the game launched.
Let's see.
It's an Eastern European thing, I think. Yeah, with the no meat thing.
See, like, okay, here's some more details about my life. My first job was at a Captain D's, and oh my god, we were so freaking slammed on Fridays and Sundays, especially during Lent. Just because everyone's like, oh, those are all empty. These are the only ones left there. There we go.
Loud composer is trying to pilfer our candy.
So yeah, a lot of Catholics back in my hometown would give up meat on Friday, and so they would come and have fish because that's totally how that works.
Apparently it is in Catholicism. I never understood why fish was not considered meat, but like we on Christmas Eve, it's called Wigilia in Polish. It's like we get fish. Specifically, my aunt really favors orange rafi, so that's what we always end up having. And sometimes my mom will make her lobster mac and cheese, which is decidedly not Polish and actually a more recent development that she's just decided to start doing that. I guess I don't know, but.
I would turn Catholic for lobster mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
My mom actually puts like probably about triple amount of lobster as the recipe calls for. So...
Okay. You have my attention.
And yeah, no, she does a pretty good job with it. But sorry, Sorry, just I got distracted by Hush. It's Hush's fault.
I mean, when's it not?
No, usually it's probably Hush's fault. Yeah. Apart from but just my own brain. But anyway,
Oh, kitty cat, you should
Cat,
go.
have you eaten anything in your life? My God, woman.
Kitty cat, you need to go in. It's in Huntsville. You either
Ow.
need to find the food truck or go to there's a brick and mortar store now called Rollin' Lobster. Lobster spelled with an AH on the end.
Because we're trendy.
Like the way they say it in Maine. I think we have to go this way, Dak.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh God.
You guys are also going without me. But that's fine. It's fine. I don't care.
Oh. I was
don't
waiting. I was
actually
just
care.
standing here.
Yeah, we were standing here and they attacked us. They started it.
Yeah.
They did it on purpose.
But yes, that's where you should go. They have like sandwiches that have really, really good lobster salad, and it's delicious.
Oh yeah, and Connor's. For a steakhouse, their lobster crab bisque is amazing.
You don't eat live lobster. They boil it while it's still alive, but you know.
Oh yeah, no, you don't eat it live. About the only thing in this
Now
world
in
where you might
Korea,
eat it.
if you had octopus, there might be a problem.
I've eaten a live oyster before. Like, as in they pulled it out of the water, washed it off in the water,
And then they
cut it
canned
open,
it
and I
too.
ate it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it didn't last very long.
And it was delicious.
You know, that's from my understanding. That's generally just how lobster is prepared, isn't it?
Yeah, they usually just throw it in the water.
Yeah.
Ow. Yeah, I thought it depended upon the dish whether or not
It might. I honestly, I mean, I really don't know. I have no expertise in that area. My understanding was just that I thought that that's how it was done. So.
Yeah, they usually either boil or steam them. But like sometimes they'll like basically stab them and then boil them.
Yes.
I've
The
heard
screaming
of
is not
that.
actually them screaming. That's just.
Yeah. It is a pretty horrific sound, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right, She. I think, now that you're mentioning that, I think I've heard that too, that it's basically there's sort of a quick death thing that you do and then you throw them in.
Ow. Oh God.
Oh, not me.
This is the epitome of don't stand in stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of impossible in some cases here, though.
Ow, 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 ow. Stop it.
Oh my God, Mouse, why are you different?
Why are you like this?
Because he's a selfish asshole.
I was waiting for someone to say because he's a fuckboy.
Or that, yeah. I mean, he basically thinks that, like, Nephilim do it
He really thinks he's God's gift to Nephilim.
Yeah. Well, rather that, you know, because we're able to be evil or good, we have the choice as Nephilim. That makes us terrible and dangerous, and basically he just doesn't like us. So he thinks we should be alive.
Yeah, trust us. Free will is. I mean. Aw, damn it! I can't use that. Someone said that he can't make his own choices.
can make their own choices. It's just that they have a much harder time doing it. Because I mean, arguably, he's being quite evil right now.
Right, like, well, and because Tyrael made his own choices, like, he made
Yeah.
some arguably pretty dim ones.
And I mean, considering the fact that he like straight up changes his sphere of influence. Because he becomes the angel of judgment or justice,
Justice.
or something else before, right?
That
I
death
forget
animation.
who he was before.
But he was something different.
I'm returning to town.
Right.
That death animation is always so satisfying.
I can't
That
do
feel
that
when
here.
the weapon upgrades you get are actually bow.
Oh, two-hander. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Have I still got the thing where I can... Oh. Give me that. Okay.
Alright, I'm thinking we should up the difficulty.
Yeah,
and do
definitely.
rifts.
There we go.
I like that plan.
Once I get all my shit sorted. Excuse you, Sam.
Sam!
She is actually eating off of my plate. Which is
Bad kitty.
like, she does not do that normally.
What did they put in those thingies? Is it like catnip mixed with crack?
It's pate.
That
It's
probably
probably
is
chicken
why,
liver.
honestly. Yeah.
Oh, wait. There we go.
Kitty cat, that is there's a bunch of them, but I think it's all the ones that spawn off of Calvinism. They're the ones that did the predestination thing. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Calvinism, and then like Presbyterians also kind of, they're the modern version that kind of thinks that they generally kind of tend to not be sort of shitty about it, but it is, you know, it's one of those things that's like, well, if God's omnipotent, then he knows, so there's not really anything you can do about it.
It's just kind of funny because, like, I mean, knowing the whole teachings of Jesus, blah blah blah, the whole point was kind of free will, was it not?
Right, and they argue that it's like, yeah, you do have free will, you yourself have free will, but God knows what you're going to pick because he has to. So it's not like
How boring for God.
I know. Well, I've read the book. It doesn't seem like that interesting a guy.
No. Basically,
OP, please nerf.
Oh,
Sorry.
jeez.
you don't have to apologize to us. I'm pretty sure we determined that none of us have like any reverence whatsoever.
Nope.
And if people are here that have been listening to us and would be upset by that by now, then I don't know where the hell they've been all this time.
And if they're people I know, then I'm still not sure why you're hanging around with me.
Sam apparently is very excited by the cheese that is stuck to my plate.
Sam.
Yeah, I admit I tend to give off this this image of a very goodly Christian choir boy, and I'm just, it's really just that they don't want to believe that I'm, you know, like, I am not what most Christians would consider a Christian, because I believe in tolerance of people unless they're assholes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a damn who you love or how many of them that you love, but if you're gonna be a dick to other people because of some kind of discrimination, then you're an asshole. And apparently that's too liberal for some.
Astrocat is apparently kink shaming your tolerance.
I would hope it's somebody's kink.
Someone out there, yes.
You know what? Until I get the new one, I want that one because mine is apparently.
I'm just gonna embarrass myself in Polish for a moment.
Okay.
Because I think people might enjoy me trying to say this tongue twister.
Sweet.
I can't say it right because of my accent. Like, I have a Canadian accent in Polish, right? So it's like, it's very significant. I mean, I wasn't born in Poland. I was born in Canada, raised in Canada. I learned Polish secondhand through my parents. So that's just my other disclaimer there. But so this tongue twister that I can't say correctly is Chrząszcz brzmi w Trzcinie. W Trzcinie. I can't say it. Fuck. Yes, consonants are obviously the best thing ever.
Gesundheit?
It has something to do with, I think, cicadas in the field or something. Something like that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, wait. Cicadas.
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, the bugs that make the racket? Yeah, we say cicada. Okay. I've never heard anyone pronounce it cicada. I guess it's you say cicada, I say cicada.
Let's call the whole thing off. I couldn't help it. It had to be done. Somebody was gonna do it. Are we all here? Yes.
There we go.
And now I run, and do this forever because
I run so far away. I'm sorry.
Oh, yep. No, well, you can't apologize now. I mean, this is what we were doing. If there's a song, fucking do it. That's how I talk. That's my life. If I think of a song, I goddamn sing it.
See, I'm that way with a lot of quotes from things that most people don't know, or if they do, they're like, oh, god damn it.
I find that The Emperor's New Groove is one of those movies that has a quote for just about every moment in life.
Oh, yeah.
So that one comes up a lot for me.
And about 90% of them are, pull the lever, Kronk!
Yes! Wrong
lever!
Why do we have that lever?
Yes.
I feel Yzma in my soul.
Yes.
When I'm like 1,000 years old and still going to conventions, I'm gonna cosplay Yzma one day.
Oh god, yeah. Goals. Fucking goals.
And I'm sure we will be more than happy to find someone to play Krunk.
Well, hopefully I'll still be at the ballet and maybe I can find, like, you know, some strapping young guy that's willing to carry me.
That would be absolutely amazing, and I want pictures.
I did actually see a couple that did that. They weren't older. They were probably in their late 20s, but she was like teeny, and he was built like a brick shithouse.
Nice.
And so, yeah.
I know that
it was great.
I understood that reference.
Well, because it's a southern thing, the whole brick shithouse thing.
Yep.
So it's not something that people really say here very much, but my dad really liked saying it. For some reason.
It's a great it's an image.
By the way,
It's
really funny
a great
because, you know,
image.
my dad has a Polish accent, so...
Ooh.
Yeah, Eartha Kitt's pretty amazing.
Like chaff before the wind.
I love that tirade she went on about, like, you know, what do you mean I'm gonna compromise my life for a man? What the fuck do you mean? Why do I have to compromise?
Sorry, Hush is doing it again.
Bad Hush.
Why didn't you share that one with the class, huh?
No biscuit.
Because I think that's a pretty funny story.
Qua?
Qua means, like, witch, does it not?
What? As in, that's what it means.
Who's on first? See, another reference. See? It's funny! Got married, dog. I like that. That's pretty great. Best wedding announcement ever.
Bird, why do I feel like Hex would do the exact same thing?
Oh God, yes.
Like, I'm seriously waiting for that, where he'll say in our friend chat, "Hey, losers, sup? Got married." Like, fuck.
Seriously though, it's pretty awesome. Just by the way, you've got a new family member. Ha! Yeah. Great. You can tell him wszystkiego najlepszego since I'm on a Polish kick. That means best wishes, by the way.
Wait, what? How does it directly translate?
Wszystkiego is like everything, and najlepszego is the best, so it's like best wishes.
Ah. Thought I heard you say something about "I wish you a fat pig."
No. A pig is świnia, or there's another word for pig that I'm a wieprz, I think. Which would probably be more like swine, possibly. So I guess that kind of would sound, yeah, like wieprz, wszystkiego. If you're not really listening, or if you don't know the language, that could be. I don't know. Honestly, it's just a lot of nonsense, and I have no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah, Kat, we probably would not have had as big of a ceremony as we did, but Bert and I are both only children, and
I would have been disowned.
yeah. I mean, granted, we did get to do the wedding our way, which is, what was it, 20-minute ceremony with a choir concert in the middle of it, and the reception lasted 5 hours.
Yep. Ooh, I think I hear a Jello Goblin.
Oh?
Oh god, I should probably not stay that stupid. Look at me.
Oh god! Ow. Oh yeah, so funny story about our reception. I don't know if we actually told this one. Oh, there's the goblin. So, since we had ours, like, we didn't have any, actual food. We just had, like, finger foods and desserts and everything. We didn't actually get a chance to eat. So, when we left the wedding reception to actually go to the hotel, we had to stop at, Arby's to get food.
I think you mentioned that at some point.
Oh,
I
we
don't remember
did?
if it was, like,
Okay.
in the, I don't know if it was in the stream or what.
I don't remember. Oh god!
Oh my god, they're all escaping!
Holy shit!
Well, my cooldowns are all, like, I don't have anything left.
Oh, lost that one. Damn it.
Lost another one.
They're immune to my glare, so I can't really stop them that way. Ooh, got that one.
Right, get that dead. Oh.
Damn it.
Well, we got some shit that they dropped, so whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Reading, back reading.
During my wedding, like, when between the ceremony and the reception, we actually went through the McDonald's drive-through because like it would be a few hours before we ate for the actual dinner. And I mean, for me, it was like I was like, if I'm gonna have like a full-out wedding ceremony and all that fucking fancy shit and everything, I'm going through the McDonald's drive-through with the fucking limo. Which unfortunately we had a limo bus, so we didn't actually do drive-through. We had to walk in. But it was funny because since I did not have a white dress, everybody at the counter was all like, wait, this is an actual wedding? And the one girl did not believe me. And I'm like, so what are all these people behind me then? Like, I just don't, I mean, I have like a whole wedding party.
Did you miss the part where I'm in white?
No, I wasn't in white.
Oh, you weren't? Oh, okay.
That's why she didn't believe me, yeah. Because I was like, my dress was red and black.
You know, I've never been to Smashburger.
I don't even know what Smashburger is. But it sounds pretty great. I love Five Guys.
So good.
So apparently that's what Smashburger is like. And yeah, no, I mean, I tried on a white dress, to be honest, because I knew I didn't want one, but I did it anyway because I was like, the dress that I wanted was going to be pretty expensive. And so I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe I can find something on consignment or whatever. Like, I didn't want to make it a big deal. And the dress that ended up actually looking pretty good on me, despite it being white, was the same price as the dress that I wanted. So then my mom was looking at me and she's like, just get the dress you want. And I'm like, okay. So I ordered it.
That was one thing I was thankfully safe from, is having to shop for a wedding dress, because I wore an heirloom.
Yeah, I didn't shop. I had my, like, I actually, I mean, I went to a couple of stores just to kind of try out stuff with my mom, but I ended up actually ordering mine online. It was like made to my measurements and that fun jazz.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, I think I posted it on Tumblr ages ago.
Like, that's...
Oh no, I think the first time we actually played, you sent a picture of your wedding because I wanted to see your dress. The one of you being all adorable and weepy.
Oh yeah, the one that everybody likes.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Ow. Oh god, where the hell am I?
Earth?
I got pulled into the shit and standing and stupid and all that other... What the hell?
Ow.
Oh god, again? That is not what... Ow. Like, am I rubber banding, or was something actually doing that to me? Weird.
I have.
Oh, please don't... Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. Just had a weird moment there for a second that, like, oh god, did we actually stop streaming? Oh yeah, that was an amazing dress.
There we go. Kind of shows up a little bit there. But yeah, it was sort of like a steampunky style wedding.
I need to go back.
I'm good to close, by the way.
Same.
No, I got interrupted.
Oh no.
It's okay. Aw, thanks.
I'm returning to town.
And it's kind of even more special now, actually, for me because the place that we got married no longer does tours or allow like they don't allow people in there anymore. That was the Canadian club, the whiskey place, Hiram Walker.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Are the cats getting rid of their pressure release valves? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. Hold on. Hop off com
Hey,
real
for
quick.
pottery nerding.
There's a lot of hissing happening right now, so we're... Oh no, it's a foot monster.
But yeah, I was pretty proud of myself because, like, my side of the wedding party there, the dresses that the girls are wearing, like, including the sash and the underskirt, which I only required the dress and the underskirt, they got all the sashes on their own, were less than $100
Oh, that's
because the
nice.
dress ended up being on sale. So I was like, ha!
What's the matter, Inara? Do you have things to say? Do you have things to tell everybody? As she
And
sniffs the microphone.
Nope, I have my mama. That's all I need.
Aw, poorest kitty.
I also enjoy the fact that I have my shoes in there because the photographer was so excited about my shoes that he actually, like, took them and arranged them to get a picture.
Let me make sure that this is... why is live still on? It's not supposed to be on.
Oh, can I close?
Oh, can we close?
Oh yes.
Yes. Okay.
Can I put her down?
Yeah. Oh, what is it, Inara? Oh,
Aw, kitty.
the poor kitty.
Can I hear her?
Yeah.
Oh, and the wedding topper on our cake
I
was actually like
know.
I was friends with the person who made the cake, and the wedding topper was their wedding gift. So it was actually like they had another like crafting type friend who made those kinds of things, and that like they commissioned them for that.
Oh, that's cool.
So we still have that sitting around in our house.
Yeah, ours is kind of special as well. I mean, yes, the church where we had the wedding is still very much there. The reception we had at a nearby hotel because it was the only place that was within walking distance that also could hold a whole bunch of people. The entire hotel is gone. Like I think they closed it just a few years ago because it's downtown and they're doing all kinds of things downtown to sort of revitalize.
Yeah, but that's happening around here too.
It's been really nice though because it's a lot of the times they call it gentrification and it can be a really bad problem. But the nice thing about this is it's brought in a lot of jobs that would be not suck, especially with all the breweries in town. Like, it was so funny. There was during the mayoral race, the opposing candidate like lambasted our mayor because he kind of basically spearheaded the whole thing of let's get the breweries open, let's have all of these microbreweries that have bars and have and thus employ people. And I forget what she said. She said something about like I think the reason that she lost so badly was she said something about it's all the you look around and you just see all these millennials that he's catering to who care more about a beer than a job. And it's like, that beer is our job. Like, you're a moron.
To answer your question, Kat, technically, I would still be considered a Catholic, but I've taken the Eucharist outside of a Catholic church. I have been married outside of the Catholic church, and like those things alone separately would have me excommunicated from the Catholic Church. The thing is, I won't be because they need numbers.
Yeah, you actually have to like do a whole big fucking song and dance to like get out of being counted in their numbers. Write a letter and everything. It's stupid.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll get around to it because fuck those guys. But yeah, we had a non-denominational wedding. Actually, our like, I mean, not only did we not get married in a church, obviously, we got married at the head office of the whiskey plant on our side.
Whiskey.
Yes, we got married by a gay man. Our officiator was a gay man.
Yeah, I
So
imagine they'd
like,
take a very dim view.
Die. Patience.
Ooh, a
God
Crusader
damn it.
shield.
I just got a fucking legendary helmet and it's a piece of shit. I mean, if it's better than what I have right now, then I guess fine.
Ooh.
But,
Yeah, I'm really, like, all I'm getting right now are
that sounds pretty
Crusader shields.
theater nerd.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I actually kind of looked into that, but there just aren't any good venues around here. Hashtag story of my life.
Oh no, I'm in the yellow. Why? Aw.
Aww.
My
That's
husband
cute.
and
And
I
it makes
met
my teeth
online.
hurt.
So that would make it difficult. But I mean, I guess technically in real life we met at a bar.
Do your vows ever aim?
Not ready.
But we both mentioned Final Fantasy VIII in our vows, and our official dance was to Eyes on Me, which is the Final Fantasy VIII love theme.
Oh my god.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, one of our wedding party people cried. She was like, "It's so beautiful," because Final Fantasy VIII. So.
Okay,
But I
Bird,
mean,
if we
we're kind of
ever...
Oh.
Oh, sorry. No, go
I am
ahead.
a nerd.
Yeah, go-
But yeah, no, like the thing was that was one of the first things that David and I bonded on when we first met, even online, was like that we both preferred Final Fantasy VIII to 7 because there tends to be a pretty significant division in Final Fantasy fandom which one people like better.
That's fair.
And so, you know, it's easier to find people that lose their shit over 7, which, I mean, granted, there are things about it I liked, just the one that I connected to and the one that had a system that I liked better was 8. So, and that's the story I liked better as well.
Same, honestly.
And yeah, I walked down the aisle to a song from Chrono Cross, I think. I think it was Chrono
Yes!
Cross. David,
Yeah, which one
which
was
song
it?
did I walk down the aisle to? Yeah, the girl who stole the star from.
Ah! Oh my god.
What did we walk back from? Back to? Guardia Castle from Chrono Trigger.
Oh, nice. We had the victory theme from Final Fantasy.
You know, that also works too.
It was victory theme, and then it morphed into the waltz with the chocobo for the rest of the wedding party.
Nice. What did I have the wedding party walk to? The wedding party! What did they walk down to?
Oh god.
Where did I go?
I almost stood in stupid there.
Then what good are you?
Wow, I am like super slow in casting that thing. What the hell?
I was experiencing lag, so I don't know.
No, I think I think I have something equipped or something that's making that slow. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so Bird, if we decide that we want to do a vow renewal thing, we should totally do like seed ball.
Oh yeah. And I'm totally dressing as Quistis.
Yes. You have to have the
I
whip
love
too.
Christus. That was another thing we bonded on, is how we both love Christus, so that was pretty great.
Yeah, Kat, I am with you there. The Cloud
I
in the
always preferred
remake
Sephiroth or
is.
Vincent as far as like good-looking ones.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
I'm not saying Cloud is not good-looking, but like when I was a
Tifa.
kid playing it, then it was definitely Vincent that I liked more.
Definitely Tifa. She could just walk on my face and I'd be happy.
Oh well, I mean, if it comes down to like say Tifa and Eris, then definitely Tifa.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Red 13's my dog.
The puppy.
Yes.
And see, I would just go. I would just walk up to Sid and go, "Let's go have a beer," because you
Yes.
look like you need one.
Every Sid always needs beer.
But yeah, like when I was playing FF7 the first time, I felt like such a perv whenever Tifa would show up. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be attracted to a character in a video game, am I?
Well, and now how many years later? yeah, just accept it. It happens.
How many years later? Yeah, we're all variants of gay.
Yeah, in Final Fantasy VIII, I had an early problematic fave in Cypher.
Oh, but honestly, who didn't? I mean, really.
I loved him. And Irvine too.
Oh, yes.
I had so many things going on in my head for... And Quistis. And it's funny because like the first time around, I hated Renoa. Like I could not stand her. I had all these like... I never used her. I couldn't stand her at all. And then for some reason, like I went back and I replayed the game like a few years ago, kind of with a better understanding in general of how the game works and all that, and I started using her more. Like, you know, I was older, I guess. I don't know, so I understood the story differently, and I ended up really actually liking her.
I had
And
the
I-
same experience.
Yeah, and so it's like I ended up having her in my party all the time, and I used the dog, and it's like when you can't use her, I was like, damn it, she's actually one of my best characters now. Because there's that whole thing where she gets kidnapped as you do.
Oh yeah.
And Fujin, oh my god, I love Fujin.
Oh my
I-
god, one of
Uh-huh.
my best friends is super obsessed with Fujin, and it's super awesome.
Yeah, no, I actually, back in like my early RP days when I was about maybe 19, 20 years old, I played in a, it wasn't Live Journal, it was Dream Journal maybe, or something along that line. It was like another, like, you didn't need, no, you did still need invite codes, I think, but it was basically like a knockoff of Live Journal, and I played in an RPG that was like Final Fantasy High School. So it had all of the Final Fantasy games, which up until that point was 10,
Okay.
I think, and like including tactics and like other offshoots or whatever. And I played Squall, Seymour, Fujin, and Sephiroth.
God, so much angst.
Oh, it was okay. First of all, my best friend at the time played Cloud, and so Squall and Cloud were like emo best friends. And literally, we had entire RPs where the two of them only spoke in ellipses. We had so much fun just making them speak in ellipses.
Do you play, or have you played any of the Kingdom Hearts games?
I never got through the first one. I managed
Okay.
to get through the first world, I think, and then like the next world is Aerials or something, and I got stuck and I got mad, and I do plan on trying it again someday, but
There's some
yeah,
amazing,
Sephiroth's theme is pretty great.
there's some amazing Cloud Squall fan service.
Oh my god, it was the ultimate fan service for anyone who loved both of them. I mean,
particularly together, because it was just like they basically sat there and flirted for about 60 seconds of unadulterated bliss, and it was wonderful.
I actually, I had another RP partner at the time that I tended to play a lot with, which was funny because it's like she's one of those people that was really, really chill, and like I could RP with other people and she wouldn't care, kind of thing, which at the time was actually pretty rare at the age we were all at. And she played Renoa, so obviously she and Squall had some stuff going on, but she also had some stuff going on with like Renoa and Garnet and a couple of other characters were all friends. Oh, and Aerith, they were like, you know, the popular girl squad. And so there was, a thing going on with Renoa and Garnet. And so, like, occasionally my friend and I would RP with, you know, Squall and Cloud having sort of like a complicated friendship. And then there was also stuff going on with Cloud and Sephiroth, but Sephiroth was obsessed with Lulu, who was also played by the same friend who played Renoa. And oh my god, it was so much fun because she was just so fucking... Like, Lulu was just salty as hell and was not impressed at all by Sephiroth, and Sephiroth tried so hard. And it was just, like, it's one of those RPs that I still look back on fondly, even though there was so much stupid drama that killed it at the end. But when it was fun, it was a lot of fun. And of course, when I played Seymour, he was the student council president.
Because of course he was.
Yes, and you know, he had all sorts of plots going on, and he was trying to get Yuna to be his girlfriend because it would look good, right? Like, I mean, his dad was like the mayor of the town.
Because
and,
of course he was.
Yes, but everybody obviously wanted to keep her away from him because he was scum. And oh, I loved that I had like two of the major villains. But like part of it was that I was glad I did because I knew I wasn't gonna do to them that what most people would. Like, I made Sephiroth really pathetic and just, you know, this really lame goth kid that was obsessed with this goth chick that had like literally no shits to give for him, and it was just so funny. And Fujin was one of my favorite characters that I ever played ever because, as you know, she only speaks like one word at a time and in all caps. So I had like, and you know, because this was done through a live journal style RP, we did like private logs, but we would post them on there in out of character posts to have kind of the log there. But they also posted as if it was their actual journal. And when I posted as Fujin, it would be like all misspelled and single words, and most people would be like, they would think she's completely incomprehensible. But Cypher and the guy who played Raijin understood her. And so they would like comment on her stuff, and
Oh my god, it's the disciplinary committee.
yes, it was like, and it was really cool too because she ended up actually getting really close with Irvine, which was a unique experience. Like, that he kind of just hung around and let her be herself and wasn't like, you know. And the guy who was playing him was also really good about the fact that obviously she doesn't really say full sentences very often. Mm-hmm. She doesn't mince words. Like, I think there's one moment in the entire game where she actually has a whole speech because she's basically telling Cypher he's being a dick.
Oh, right, I remember that.
Yeah, because, you know, the whole point is that it's not that she can't speak, it's that she doesn't waste words. So it's like, you know, when she actually has something to say, you know, so I kind of approached her that way, and it was just, it's an RP I really loved, obviously, because I haven't shut up about it for the past 10 minutes, but yeah. I really liked a lot of the dynamics. It is too warm in here now, so I'm taking off my sweater. Mind me.
Take it off, etc.
Well, I'm wearing pants, though, because it's too cold not to wear pants, sadly. But they're pajama pants, so...
Yeah, we're in jammies. By the way, I'm good to close.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered. I said it pajamas. That's another thing, like something that recently came up with me and Hush because I spell pajamas with a Y, but it's also correct to spell it with an A, and she spells it with an A, and I had to look it up because I was like, wait, is one of us misspelling it? Which I don't care, I just wanted to know, right? Like, it's just, I was curious, so I looked it up, and apparently both are correct. It just, and I was kind of like, okay, but is it a pronunciation thing maybe? And it turns out that it, like, I guess Hush says it pajamas, and I say it pajamas, like, so...
Yeah, I think I always say pajamas.
Yeah.
And I spell it with an A. But I've
Yeah.
seen pajamas.
Yeah, and the PY is actually common in like Canada and I guess the UK, but so it's one
But
of those.
I so rarely say the whole word. It's usually jammies.
Yeah, jammies or jams or jammy jam.
Mm-hmm.
JJs. Oh, we can close, right?
Yeah, we can close. Okay. Sorry, Kat. We missed a couple of your what you've said. Okay. Did we watch the new animated Castlevania show? I didn't even know there was one. And let's see. Scyther. Yeah. It's Here, let me put it in chat. This is how. I mean, stop me if I'm wrong, if this is how it is, but this is how I've always thought that Cypher's name was spelled.
That's the character in Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
That's how Cypher is spelled.
Yeah.
That game.
Have you seen it spelled differently somewhere else?
Yeah, like CYPHER. Like if you're
Oh.
actually looking at a cipher, like as a decoding system.
That just
whatever.
makes me think of what's his face in the Matrix.
Right? You mean Jackass?
Oh, yeah. That guy.
Lord Commander Jackass.
Hi, Kenshi.
Is Kinchi back?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Fate smiles on you today.
All right, let's see. What do I want? Oh yeah. Let me go for. Yeah, I need to go for wrists. Let's see. What do I have here?
Don't forget, luck always
Nope.
changes.
Not a thing, and I don't have enough mats to roll into legendaries, so we'll just get that. Yeah, I love his outfit in Kingdom Hearts.
I sort of loved him as an antagonist in 8. He was a really great device.
Yeah, no, because it's like he's an antagonist, but only for a while, and it's because he's kind of misguided, right? Like it's
Right.
he thinks
like,
he's
it's
doing the right thing, but then obviously eventually Fujin verbally bitch slaps him because they're following him around because they love him, but they're like, okay, dude, like now you're just being stubborn. Like,
right. And short-sighted.
yeah. Speaking of which, holy fuck, Idea was sexy.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
definitely had things going on before I understood they were things with her.
right?
Because
Yeah.
oh man.
It's like, am I supposed to be looking there? Because that's exactly where I'm looking, and I
And
hope no
also,
one catches me looking.
how was she their like school marm lady? Like she was the one that ran the orphanage they were all at. So I'm like, she fucking hot for an old lady. I mean, now obviously I don't quite think that way, but that was my thought at the time.
No one's judging you.
Yeah, they are. Everyone's judging me.
I'm not judging you. I can tell you that right now. I'm. It just
It's
feels
like
nice.
glass houses.
Yeah. There we go. All right, got that achievement for this chapter. Okay. Craft level 70 weapon. We haven't gotten there yet. Raise them to 12. Level 70. Kill Diablo at 60 or higher. Okay.
Yay, no rain.
Idea
is hot. Edea. She was the main, well, initially the main antagonist of Final Fantasy.
Or are you putting it in the channel?
I sure fucking am. There's some nice art here, so I will post that. See if that shows up.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love how it showed up in the stream. Oh Jesus.
Well, I mean, that's the most important part, obviously, right? I think they're shells, actually.
Yeah, I think it's like all part of the headdress.
Like a snail shell thing. But yeah, she's got like a whole complicated headdress thing going on. There's the image from like the character picture thing.
Ah, there it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the original artwork, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you,
Still got some of that.
Thank you, Tetsuya Nomura. At least I think that wasn't that Nomura. Or am I just thinking Kingdom Hearts?
No, I think this was still. What's his name?
I think I've got the Final Fantasy VII book around here somewhere. It's got the same artist. Yeah, it's the same person who did the art.
Ah. They're not taped up. It's magic. She's a sorceress.
Yeah, totally magic.
Mage hand under each boob.
And yeah, I think many of us were hot for teacher when it came to Quistis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't realize I had that kink. Okay!
Well, not to mention she was only a year older than, like, Cypher and Squall, but she was an instructor because she was fucking awesome.
Right, that always weirded me out.
It's Japan. They always do shit like that, so, I mean...
Right.
Like, they have, you know, supremely gifted young people that are all grouped together with some sort of challenge that they take up to 11 and then 15.
Sorry, I thought that actually was Gotta Burn 5 Men. I'm like, well, if that's what you want to do.
I mean, some people cast magic that way.
Yeah. I'm so squishy. Oh god.
Yeah, I got pulled over there for some odd reason.
Why is Foof yelling? Well, if it was a Dea, then maybe. I mean, she was kind of under some full influence there. She was pretty single-minded. Very Queen Beryl, actually. Come to think of it. And now I can check off Sailor Moon reference for the evening on my list. I mean, I don't have
like a bingo card.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have like chat bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Addie says something about ADHD. That will probably just win the card.
Free space, duck dies.
That's just a given, yeah. It's like the same time, like every time, isn't it? Around this time is when he just starts yelling for no reason. It's not food time or anything. That was hours ago.
Hi.
Who is that?
It's something from Overwatch, apparently.
Ah. Her costume looks shrink wrapped. I mean, there's nothing about that that can be comfortable or functional.
But then, you know, what's the point?
Yeah, I've only played a little bit of Overwatch, and the only thing I know about it is that according to the fandom, and in some portions are actually canon, everyone is gay. Just
Which, I mean, that's cool. I just don't enjoy the gameplay. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a type of game that I like.
yeah, those the MOBAs. I'm just not. I've never really been a fan
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah, I've tried them and just
Wow,
they don't
I'm
hold
like
my interest.
leaving stuff here.
Oh, I could say something about my new current obsession.
Oh yes,
apart from The
please.
Exorcist. Because why not? Now I've been reading this series of books called The Raven Cycle by, I think it's Maggie Stiefvater. And I am currently on the 4th book and just like losing my mind over them because they are way better than what I expected when I first got into the first one. It's a writing style that I enjoy. I know it's not for everybody. Like it gets a little purple, but it's in a way that I really like. Like it's not Anne Rice purple. It's more like it's a way that like she has a way of describing people, like the way that they dress or like the way that their face, you know, there's an expression on their face, whatever, in a way that you're like, yes, I know that face or I know that type of person. Like it's just you're like pointing at it and flailing at it going, yes, I understand. And,
Yeah, like purple prose is, you know, it only works and is not jarring and ridiculous when, you know, it's like, yes, I'm going to compare thee to a summer's day, and that actually means something, and not only that, but means multiple somethings.
Yeah, like it's not just fluff, basically. That to
So-
me, it's very much like I've described it time and again as visceral, like that I feel
Yes, oh yeah.
very like connected to the atmosphere of the scene. And like my favorite thing, like she is very into character development, and that's pretty much all the books are. Is it's so character driven, and like you get all this
Oh, why am I so slow? Yeah, I'm just for those of us who are. I'm really just talking about me. When you say purple prose, you mean
like using a lot of metaphor rather than like I guess
Duck, the best way I can tell you is, you know, have you like you've read some of my fan fiction where I get like ridiculous with the metaphors?
yeah.
That's purple prose. Like I'm doing that on purpose because Hannibal is like a walking selection of purple prose.
yeah purple prose does tend to work for Hannibal, and some people definitely overdo it, not just in fan fiction, but I mean like in general, like that there is definitely a limit for me of what I can take in purple prose, but in this case it just works so well to me. Like it I think it adds exactly what it needs to add as far as depth and understanding of like, because again she sets the scene. Like it's, you know, I wish I could think of something offhand that she says, or like rather not that she said that she has. Oh wow, I just got one shot.
Oh shit.
Um,
Are you back? Okay.
just the way that she describes like certain characters, like his smile was like a knife kind of thing. So you get that he has a very sharp and dangerous kind of smile. Like obviously you're not actually picturing a knife on his face unless you're the sort of person that just doesn't do purple prose at all.
But the words,
you know,
they evoke a physical feeling, you know, like how
yeah,
they're
and a certain
describing.
kind of image that, you know, like you're like, okay, yeah, he has a very sharp-edged face, without just saying he has a sharp-edged face, because, you know, like that obviously can also be a little like, how many times can you say he has a really sharp face without getting tired of it? So, you know, she comes up with different ways of sort of like drawing attention to it when it's important, kind of thing. So apart from that, yeah, like there's the whole, like, the premise is like the main female character is her name is Blue, and she is in the only non-psychic in a family of psychics.
So
Um,
outcast, okay.
Not exactly like, yes and no.
Oh.
She's a sort of self-imposed outcast, and one of her major character things is that she's sensible, which, by the way, is the opposite of what most female protags are in YA. So it's kind of nice to see that she actually makes, like, she does her best to make actually really sensible decisions, and she's kind of often a what's the word I'm looking for? A stabilizing voice in the group. And she's been told pretty much her whole life that if she kisses her true love, he'll die. So
Oh,
obviously
God.
she resolved to not kiss anyone and not fall in love with anyone. And obviously, I mean, like, you know, how long can you really avoid that in your life? I mean, you can't, whatever. And then, like, kind of the opening of the book, she ends up, you know, that she mentions that, like, that's kind of part of the premise, so it's not a spoiler or anything. And then the other thing is that there's these guys, you know, you've got this rich academy or whatever in the town, and this takes place in Virginia. And they're called the Raven Boys, because I guess the school, like, mascot or whatever is a raven. And there's 4 of them, I think. Yes, yeah, there's 4 of them. And they are looking for an ancient king buried somewhere in or around the town. And that's, like, you know, the main guy, Gansey, has been looking for this king, and, like, the other guys all just kind of, like, support his quest, and they're like, you know, that's part of their connection or whatever.
That's never gone poorly.
Oh, there's down.
Right?
Oh, God, let's get the hell out of this area.
I know, right? I hate this level.
Ugh.
And watch, it's gonna be even worse. And so yeah, I mean, like, that was the you know, that's the basic, like, premise of the whole thing. And then, you know, of course, the characters eventually all meet, and just, fuck, man, I love these books. I read, the first one took me a while because originally I was reading them the way I've been reading books for the past several months, which is on my lunch hour. And so I was only reading a little bit every day, like Monday to Friday. I didn't even touch it on the weekends. And then I got to a certain point in the book where I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to finish this tonight and get the next book. Because, you know, I hit that spot where I was like, I need to know what happens next. And the second book, I went out the next day and I bought the last 3. There's 4 in the series. I read the second book in that day, pretty much. And then I read the next book the day after, and right now I'm working on the 4th because I was so tired. I wasn't able to read much of it yesterday. I was just way too tired after, like, reading the other ones for the last few days, so but
Oh, God. Damn. Oh, man.
in this case, though, like, I mean, and again, obviously everybody, like, some people just don't enjoy reading altogether, and some people aren't into fiction or whatever, you know, so I mean, I'm not saying that everybody that would read this is gonna love it. Maybe the writing style isn't your thing, the setting or whatever, but I mean, personally, I'm finding myself very, very compelled by the characters and all of their backgrounds and how it all comes together and everything. Like, I have not been invested in characters like this in a while. Like, I mean, Hanagram was, like, my only thing, so now it's like, wow, I'm actually not that I'm moving on from Hannibal by any means, but I'm actually
Don't
starting to
leave
like
us.
something. Trust me, I won't. I'm actually starting to, like, have this new thing that I really like, and I get hyper fixated, I guess. Like, when I'm really into something, then it's like, I mean, otherwise I would be distractible. Like, if I don't enjoy the book, then there's no fucking way I'm gonna finish it, because I will just keep on finding other things to do. But I've been really, really enjoying these, so I just keep on wanting to know what comes next, and that's why I'm, like, tearing through them, because I'm just like, okay, what else? Like, I need to know. So that's pretty much like I don't have like a trick for reading faster. It's just I've always read that way. I mean, that being said, I do still have to go back and reread stuff because I'll end up going too fast for myself sometimes, or just kind of lose track. And
Wow, I got the furnace.
Oh, nice.
Well, you can cube it at least.
Yeah, Kat,
And,
I'm with you. I'm so slow at reading.
Which is fine too. I mean, like, again, we all kind of have our own things we do, right? Like, then the way that we do it. Oh my god, I got my best in slot belt for the build that I'm working on, except it's, you know, level 55. Son of a bitch. But I guess, you know, whatever, it works for now. Yeah, I generally, like, normally the way that I read is, like, I'll read a book in a day. And if it takes, like, it's actually been, oddly enough, working for me with the lunch hour thing. But I was doubting even myself, as far as being able to do it that way, because normally I'm all or nothing. Like, I can't just put down what I'm reading. Like, it, but I guess because it's, like, a lunch hour thing, maybe because it's part of that specific routine, then that's why I've been able to do it. But in this case, then when I actually got into the books, like really, really crazy, like, then I was like, well, I have to, I have to finish them now. So, but yeah, I am actually like, I haven't looked at fan fiction or anything yet because I want to read the last book first.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I've been starting to kind of be like, oh, I want to see what else people are like maybe gonna do with this, and I'm interested to see. No, it's not. I'm so well. Okay, this is from my personal. I can't really read fantasy. There's too much world building and not enough like just get on with it. It took me, and knowing now how I normally read, it took me 2 weeks to read Lord of the Rings.
Jesus.
Because it was fucking boring, and Tom Bombadil made me want to kill me.
That is a rough part of the book to get through. It took me 3 years to get through the whole thing. Part of that was self-imposed, but it took me probably a solid year to get through. I'm somebody who normally can read a book, like a pretty hefty fantasy book. Like, it'll take me about a month. Like, I'm thinking Game of Thrones. I'm not a fast reader. I tend to like to take it in bites and kind of digest. Especially something like fantasy, because like you said, you know, there's a lot of world building, and I guess I want to go live in that world for a while, and I don't want it to be over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way like, I was talking to my boss about it the other day, and she's like, I like to savor, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I would love to, but that's just not the way my brain works. Like, I want to consume, you know, like, I want to absorb it. If I want to savor, that means I'm going to go back and read it a second time. That's how I savor.
That's
so
fair.
It's, you know, like, I mean, it's kind of the same idea where it's like, yeah, I immerse myself in the world over again. While I guess in your case, it's like, you know, you want to soak it up as you're going. So for me, it's like, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like spoilers if I can avoid them, because for me, I don't rush ahead, as in I don't read the end. I want to get to the end, you know, like I want the journey.
Right.
I want to, because otherwise, like, when I get spoilers, my issue is that I get distracted by them. And then that's all I end up reading even faster and missing stuff because I'm just like, okay, when does this happen? When does this happen? When is it? When is it? Is it this page? Is it this page? You know, like, and that's all I'm thinking about. So it's
I'm
like
the same way.
Yeah. And then it's just, I'm not enjoying any of the other stuff. And I'm like, wow, so I've basically missed like really the emotional impact of all these things. And I'm not connecting to this character or that character because all I care about is this other thing that somebody told me about. And so it's like, I don't know. But
Kitty Cat, to answer your question, I personally did not like The Hobbit the first time I read it. I read it second. Well, let me rephrase that. I tried to read it in the 6th grade. I was not really reading fantasy at the time, and so I didn't really understand what I was reading. I couldn't get into it. Then I went and saw the Lord of the Rings movie, the first one in theaters, completely sight unseen, didn't even know it was a trilogy. Went in, saw it, freaked out at the credit sequence, and made the people that I went to the movie with drive me. I was like 14, drive me to go to the bookstore to get the book. I personally still like Lord of the Rings better, but I think the thing with fantasy is, especially high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, and to a
There's
lesser
so much
extent, Game of.
world building and politics.
Well, because it's not a story about people.
Yeah, no.
That's what makes high fantasy, and that's actually why I would argue like a series like Kashael's Legacy is actually not high fantasy. I would say that
And
that
that's probably
is
why I don't enjoy high fantasy, because I'm all about characters and character-driven stories. Like, that's what compels me the most, is whether or not I connect to the individual characters and what their journeys are. And I mean, obviously, I do have an interest in the grander scheme of things. Like, I mean, with my obsession with Dragon Age, I am all about the world building and all that kind of stuff. But because it's a visual medium primarily, I was able to get into the world building like in those bits and pieces while also still seeing the map constantly and knowing where we are. Like, if I have to keep on like going back to the, cover of the book to see the map, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue where we are. Like,
Yeah,
and then it's like I'm going back to the beginning to get that list of families or whatever, family names or like kingdoms, and I'm just like, I want to just know about these people.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way when it comes to things like that. Like if it's high fantasy, if I don't know where we are, I'm not going to be able to follow what's happening, and which I'm really glad that, like, as far as The Hobbit goes, I didn't really want to read it until I saw the films, and that kind of made me go.
The films made it so much better in a lot of ways. I didn't like a lot that they did with the films, but Richard Armitage's portrayal of Thorin Oakenshield made the book for me, because I was like, I hated that character. I did not understand what the deal was with Thorin Oakenshield, like what the fuck his problem was. And then when Richard Armitage portrayed him, and he portrayed him as this profoundly broken human being. Yeah, I mean, not human, obviously, but
Well, yes, but person, yes.
Yeah, this profoundly broken person. It was just like, oh. And when I had that sort of emotional baggage sort of underpinning the way he acts in the book, it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
suddenly you have that depth that makes you understand. But I mean, that's something that I think, like, whether or not a film or a show or whatever is successful in adapting something, I think it's still useful in drawing people into the original source material.
Oh, sure. Lord of the Rings, definitely. It did a good job of that. I mean, hell, it got me.
Yeah, the reason why I read the first book was because of the movies, and I think that had I not seen the movies, I wouldn't have been able to even get through it.
Same.
Because I, like, at least then I had a general idea already of the world. I didn't have to worry about dragging my ass through the world building part as much, because I already understood that. So it was basically like filling in gaps. It was still difficult for me to read because it just, like, it's not my style, but as far as, like, I definitely would not have finished it had it not been for at least having the background of the film.
Right, and understanding that, like, there's going to be something after Tom Bombadil. Granted, that section is amazing once you have read literally everything else, and you go back through a second time after having read and then you go,
I can accept that. It's just I couldn't stand it the first time around because it's these big, long digressions, basically, from the story, and I'm just kind of like...
I know one person that enjoyed it outright. And I think part of the issue to me is that I think it would have had more weight if it had come later in the story. Because, like, at that point, you still didn't really understand what the One Ring was. And the whole thing about Tom Bombadil being, like, being able to resist the call of the ring. Like, that was the
and, like, nothing, basically. I mean, he didn't... It was, like, not even... He was just like, I want to bang this river chick.
Right, pretty much. And that was... I think that would have had more weight if it had come later after you already sort of knew the bad mojo.
Yeah. And,
but
Tom Bombadil is a character that basically, like, from what I remember, I mean, you'd probably know better than me, Birdie, but he is like a forest spirit type guy. Like, I mean, there's all sorts of theories on who he really is, I think. Like, I recall...
You never do find out.
Yeah, but basically he's like a forest spirit type thing, and he takes the Fellowship, like, into his forest and essentially, like, interrupts the story. Like, they spend all this, like, undetermined amount of time He wasn't in the movie. No, they took out the entire Tom Bombadil thing, which is a lot of people thought it was an improvement.
It honestly was. You can't put that on screen. Like, it just doesn't work.
No, it would be too jarring. Like in a TV series, if they had adapted it as a TV series, absolutely they could have done it in like an episode or something as like sort of a strange
I still don't think it would be something
aside.
that needs to be on screen though. Like it's too ephemeral. I mean, I know that sounds snooty, but
No. I mean, I understand. Like, it is difficult to put together in a visual medium, especially considering that like pacing is such an issue. Like in a book, it might work. But
well, again, I mean, I just said that. Like, I
straight
think
up
they should have put it somewhere else.
Yeah, it straight up interrupts the story, and I think he does it a few times.
Yeah, well, and he does it in The Hobbit too. Like Bjorn is sort of another one of those asides of, and that one's a little less jarring because he sort of brings that full circle. You never really go back to Tom Bombadil ever again.
Yeah, but it's like it's such a big chunk of the first book, and then it's like, okay, and now we're never gonna speak of it again. Like,
Right.
And so obviously they're all, if you really want to get into the analytical side of it, which a lot of people do. I mean, if I loved it, I absolutely would. But there's all sorts of like theories on not only who he is, but like what the reason for bringing them there was, and what purpose it could have served, or what benefit it could have had, or whatever. So it's like,
well, it very much had kind of the whole. Have you ever read The Hero with a Thousand Faces?
No.
Okay. It's a book. It's dry as a popcorn fart, but it's a really good book on. It's basically a book about why the hero narrative works. And not just in literature, but like why that is something that resonates going all the way back to like the beginning of storytelling.
Yeah, that is, there's always like heroic tale.
Why there's always heroic tales, and what the heroic tales, what they like the steps that they all entail. And Tom Bombadil is, the going to see the seer.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the navel of the world, that whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, absolutely.
And it serves that purpose. And usually in the like in the hero narratives, they get you about the only thing. No, they do get something from Tom, because they end up getting the swords from the Barrow-wights, which is sort of seminal, and then not being little gardening hobbits anymore.
Yes.
But it's a little more jarring in that usually the navel of the world is not stumbled upon, it's gone to purposefully. But, the hobbits don't know where the hell they're going.
Nope. Oh, and I just wanted to bring it back to Kinshi had asked if anyone likes horror novels, and I wanted to mention that yes, I do enjoy horror. And actually, with the Raven Cycle, the fourth book is very much turning into a horror. Like, there's some creepy shit going on after all the setup in the 3 books. So it's a bit of a tone shift, but not in, like, I was kind of trying to explain it to Hush earlier, that it's not a jarring tone shift. Like, it seems like a natural progression considering like the way things have been going in the story and what you've come to expect. But it's still like, the first book is one way, the second book is sort of a different way. Like, the first 2 are both very much like get to know the characters and what they're capable of, and give them their connections to each other and all that kind of stuff. And then the third one is like, okay, now we're doing like the big quest kind of stuff going on. And then now the fourth one is like, we're getting closer, and like all the shit has gotten real. And it's a lot of fun.
I like a lot of the classic horror novels. One of my personal favorites, honestly, is Picture of Dorian Gray. That book is creepy if you've never read it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yep.
I generally can read horror better than I can't watch it because like visual bad. But I really like. I also liked Dracula. If you've never read Dracula,
I
like
love
the actual.
Dracula. The movie is awful.
so
and
good.
I'm sorry, Keanu, but no.
I know. He's good in a lot
Gary
of other
Oldman
things, but
did
not
not
that.
deserve that film. Because he did a fantastic job, but the movie was just bad.
However, we did get "Love Song for a Vampire" by Annie Lennox out of it.
Yes. And yeah, I grew up reading Stephen King, Anne Rice, which isn't necessarily, I guess, but it can be.
It's only a horror story if she sends her lawyers after you.
Uh,
Sorry, Salt.
oh yeah, no, I have that. We'll talk about that another week.
That'll be next week. We can talk
Yeah.
about Anne Rice.
Yeah, because I
We'll have a
lot-
fandom history lesson.
Yeah, I have a lot of personal feelings all wrapped up in that stuff. So anyway, and also Clive Barker is a big one for me. I fucking love Clive Barker, like all his fucked up stuff. I mean, you've got the Hellbound Heart and Nightbreed, which was Cabal. Yeah, the book is Cabal. The movie was Nightbreed.
I've never read any Barker. I just recently read a few books by Stephen King. I had never. I have a love-hate relationship with Stephen King.
I think most of us do. I mean, but I mean, like with the amount of stuff he puts out, you can't possibly love all of it.
No, well,
Like,
my
he's
issue
one
is
of
his
those-
writing style. Like
That's what I mean, though. Like
yeah.
it does tend to change depending on what kind of story he's telling, in little ways, and it
has
works
this thing-
sometimes, and it doesn't work sometimes.
He has this thing that he does where I have a problem. I don't like narrators that are present in their own story, unless it is actually a character.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they told from the first person.
Yeah, no. Now that you say that, I'm like, King is definitely ever present.
And it drives me insane. And I
Yeah.
don't mind it in certain things, like The Shining. It worked because you know, the whole thing is sort of this taunting, malevolent force.
And it
But,
works in The Stand as well, because it basically feels like a fairy tale.
Right.
So it's like you're kind of sitting there listening to him tell you this story.
But one where it didn't work, which was the first Stephen King thing I tried to read, was Pet Sematary. I would actually warn people that, like, if you know the story of Pet Sematary, I would offer the book with a very large grain of salt, because the kid or the cat doesn't die until like 3/4 of the way through the book, and it's kind of infuriating when you know. Speaking of spoilers, like when you know that
Well,
that's
that
going to
book's
happen
been
and
out
you're
for
like waiting on it. You know, like I don't know, it was way too much with the, you know, he I'm toying, you know, as cat with mouth I toy with thee, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like yeah, it's like get over yourself, man, and just tell the story.
I really love Misery.
Yes, Misery
As a
was
film
good.
and as a book, actually. It's one of those that I like both versions.
Didn't she was the first woman to win an Oscar for a villain, wasn't she?
I honestly don't know. But
Because I think she was right after Hopkins winning it for Silence of the Lambs.
yeah. Yeah, no, that was definitely good shit, man. Creeped me the fuck out, and it was amazing. And I remember reading Dolores Claiborne when I was very young. That was a bad plan.
Oh, that sounds like an awesome plan.
I don't find him monotonous on it, like, personally, but yeah, he's like, I mean, he's a writer and a very professional one at that, and he's one of the people that, like, obviously he's been able to make writing a very successful career because he's consistent. Like,
yes, and prolific.
yeah, so it's like he's just been blessed with that kind of drive and ability to focus and get the words out, you know, like, so, I mean, whether I like all of his stuff or not, or whether anybody else likes his stuff or not, you got to admire that much, you know, like, that he puts together a story. I don't like all of them, for sure. I like Storm of the Century, which, I mean, that wasn't a book, it was a screenplay that was made into that mini-series, but I enjoyed it.
Also, really good horror. If anybody has seen Astrocat, yes, you need to see Silence of the Lambs. It's fabulous.
I've read Poppy Z. Bright. She is terrible, and I love her.
And you also should read the book. It's a fast read.
Like, seriously, Poppy Z. Bright is the kind of thing that I probably couldn't read now because she's just so bad, but I loved her badness when I was like 18, 19 years old. Because so much kudzu everywhere. It's always kudzu.
By the way,
And characters named nothing. And
did
ghosts or
have
something.
you ever read? Speaking of Stephen King stuff, have you read? Oh, now I'm trying to remember the name. I guess the short story, The Apt Pupil.
I didn't read Apt Pupil, no.
Oh my God, you need to read it. It is
It is like
so
I think I have it. Like I have a couple of his short story collections.
yeah, it's
His
in the
short
same
stories
one
are
as,
good.
yeah, it's in the same one as Stand By, as the one for Stand By Me.
Yeah. I liked that's the other like his short stories are really good, and when people try to make them into movies, most of the time they fuck it up. Because
Yeah.
Room 1408 is one of his short stories, and the movie was just not good. And the short story's amazing. Like it's one of my
What
favorites.
was the movie?
1408 with
Oh, that's the name of it, okay.
what's his face? The guy from High Fidelity.
John Cusack.
Thank you. Yes, John Cusack.
Of course, Doc
And I mean,
knows.
the movie wasn't awful. It's just that there's a particular sort of atmosphere to the short story that is very difficult to get across in a visual medium. And they did a decent enough job, but
BRB.
BZ Bride is still a terrible, terrible writer, but also very enjoyable. Yes, exactly. Awful purple prose. But it's just like, yeah, there's that whole, I mean, vampire thing. She's basically like Anne Rice if she were on a lot of drugs. Like Poppy Z. Bright, apparently, like from what I recall, I remember reading a story where apparently she showed up to, I think it was Anne Rice's Halloween ball thing with like a bowl of cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't. I only knew Poppy Z Bright as like, wait, I mean, yay, years ago, fucking like 15 years ago. So I have not even looked into anything since then. But Clive Barker, I highly recommend for just about anyone. I mean, he gets weird. There's some the criticisms of his writing are kind of complicated because he's a gay man writing horror that tends to, like, from what I recall, again, like, this is, please do not quote me on this because I don't even fucking remember, but I remember there were criticisms about his writing being sort of like internalized homophobia thing, and like, you know, he kind of gets a little well, problematic, I guess. You know, I mean, a lot of authors do, don't get me wrong. But it's like, still, because I read a lot of his stuff when I was much younger, I have a sort of, you know, part of it for me is nostalgia. But I also just, I tend to like his imagery and the subject matter he deals with, which he tends to make his monsters sympathetic characters. He wrote The Hellbound Heart, which was made into the film Hellraiser. And he wrote Cabal, as I said, which was the film Nightbreed, which is not, kind of obscure these days, but it's a very, very good movie. I believe he directed that one as well. And like, again, if you're gonna watch that one, watch the director's cut because that's the good version. And that one actually has, I don't know if anybody's familiar with David Cronenberg. He's a horror director. He did Videodrome and shit, what's the other one called? Oh god, he did a whole bunch of fucking,
Are you ready?
I'm just forgetting the names of movies right now. Oh, he did The Fly, I think. Yes. And Existence and Scanners and The Dead Zone. Dead Ringers, that's the one I was trying to think of. So, you know, I mean, he has a tendency to have a certain kind of thing going on in his films. But anyway, he actually plays a character in the Nightbreed film, and he's obviously every bit as creepy as you might expect. And it's just, it's a very 80s movie, but it's awesome. And again, it, like, I mean, the whole thing in Nightbreed is that the monsters aren't necessarily the bad guys, and it makes you wonder like who's the real monster kind of thing. Um, and like it's this kind of the same thing with like the Hellraiser stuff, because really, I mean, yeah, the monsters are like, they're gonna torture you and stuff, but it's like, I mean, the people that generally call, like the ones that are looking for the puzzle box and the ones that get trapped in it and all that end up kind of, I mean, they're literally actually asking for it. Like, there's like that level of hedonism that's so extreme that they're like, okay, I actually need you to peel my skin off because I can't feel any greater pleasure kind of thing, so it's like the non-monster characters sometimes end up turning out to be worse than the monsters. Am I making sense on that? I think I am.
I'm following you.
Okay.
Y'all are talking about a particular genre that I have absolutely no experience whatsoever. Just as far as film or book, I have nothing to offer this conversation.
There's another one that I read from him, I think Mr. Be Gone, and the main character is a demon from hell. And it's written in first person, like you're actually reading his book that he's written, and he's like, burn this, like he opens it like, burn this book. No, seriously, like stop reading it and burn it. Like, don't be an idiot, just fucking stop. And like the whole time he's basically like, okay, I mean, if you're still here, I'll tell you my story as to why you shouldn't be reading this, but keep going if you want. And
immersion.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, because I mean, like there's a couple of times that it really kind of gets to you. Like, it's, at least for me it did, like I got pretty immersed in it. So but again, like, because the main character is a demon, but you kind of end up, you can't help but sympathize with the protagonist sometimes, right? And they kind of, like, he plays with that at times, where it's like, I mean, he's bad, but you enjoy the character, so you're kind of like, but I still like you. Kind of like Hannibal.
No.
And that's that's something I tend to enjoy, I guess. So blah blah blah. The end. Read Clive Barker. Is the conclusion.
Not handball.
Handball.
Have you seen that gift set of where it's the Ron something or other from Parks and Rec is Will's dad?
Oh yes, I did see that. Yeah.
And he calls him Honeyball and calls him Handball at one point.
Nice.
I love that gift set. It makes me crack up every time.
Here's some stuff from Nightbreed.
Oh my god.
And yes, the guy on the right with the forehead, it does look like a dick. And that's probably on purpose, because it's Clive Barker. And if you see any of his art, like his photography and stuff, it's very homoerotic, and he does that on purpose.
It kind of looked more like a banana to me, but now that you said that, yeah.
Creator is gay. Look again.
And then there's like this porcupine chick.
Shall we do one more rift and call it a night?
House of Leaves. Oh my god, everybody needs to read House of Leaves. I need to read it again. Fuck, it's been on my reread list forever. Sorry?
I've been meaning to.
You need to.
It's on our bookshelf.
I have the color edition that like has all the extra shit on it or whatever. And so it's really great, because every single time the word house comes up, it's like printed in blue and much bigger, and every time the word, I think, bull comes up, it's red. And I mean, like, it's a book that's a biography of a fictional film, like, meaning that within the book you find out that the film doesn't exist, but it's like a book that's the book was written as if it's a real movie. And there are footnotes, and then like the guy who's like basically the protagonist in the story is making his notes in the like sub footnotes, so there are footnotes to the fake story. And like, well, I mean, it's an experimental novel, so it's very much all over the place. Like, and yeah, no, it's an experience. Like the book is absolutely an experience. It's not just sitting down and reading a book. Like you actually, there are points where you're flipping back and forth to different pages. You're turning it upside down. You're flipping. There's only one word on a whole page, and you
I
feel
like
it.
James
Like
Joyce.
it takes you through the whole. Like it's so atmospheric. There was one point that I was so creeped out, I straight up had to put the book down, and I've never done that in my life before or since.
I've only done that once, and I did it with. Weirdly enough, it was Picture of Dorian Gray. Like you get to the end, and I don't know, something about the description of the painting freaked the fuck out of me, and I don't know why. Shall we do
And
one
yeah,
more?
yeah, just yeah. In House of Leaves as well, I think that there's like an edition that doesn't have the extra stuff with the letters. I'm sure you know what I mean, Hush. Because I think that there's like a version that the version that I have has the letters, and you can end up finding one that doesn't. But it's just, and I mean, you can choose to do certain things or not. Like, you know, there's footnotes that refer to the glossary or whatever, and you can look at the glossary or not, I guess, you know, but obviously I want to read everything, so.
Sure.
It's a fabulous book. And it's really cool because the author, Mark Danielewski, his sister is Poe, the singer, and she actually did an album based on it for him.
Oh,
and it's definitely, it feels like I feel like it's a really, really good, like she obviously understands her brother and his work, because I feel like it was really a good match to the book. So letters, no, there's the color edition, but then there's like an extra set of letters that are from, I think it's, there's Johnny's mother or something. Like the letters that she sent him. And I think there's like a version of or an edition of the book that doesn't have those. Because there's obviously like the non-color version of the book, but I mean, who wants to get that? It's definitely worth getting the color. And it's funny too, because like, I mean, technically House of Leaves is considered, but after actually having read it, I consider it a romance, and that's about it. I don't consider it a horror. It freaks me the fuck out, but I still don't consider it a horror.
I must wait longer.
No, I totally understand that. The whole, like, it still freaks me out, but I consider it something else.
Yeah.
The Kashile's Legacy series is like that for me in places.
And yeah, going back to the Raven Cycle books that I'm currently obsessing over, that's what I do. I do highly recommend them for people. Like, it's magical realism. So, you know, it is set in our world. Like, the psychics are real as far as within this whole thing. There are, you know, some pretty decent rules to the magic. And the way that she crafts the story, it doesn't feel like jarring or out of place. And it's just the dynamic that I enjoy with Hanagram. There's kind of shades of it in this, which is one of the things that sort of kept me reading, is that there are characters that have certain dynamics, and also like just with the character development and stuff that there are things that I see in it that I really, really love. I don't want to spoil things, so it's kind of hard for me to word it. But I'm hoping people are getting what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm following you. I also hear a goblin. There
Over
it is.
here.
Ah, fucking goblins running away. Oh, of course. We're like surrounded by shit now. Oh my god, I don't know where the fuck he went. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh god. Nice clusterfuck to end our evening. Yes, there's a tarot deck based on, I didn't actually read up on like what they were based on, but that would make sense if it was Blue's mom's deck. And then there's apparently also going to be a TV series on Sci-Fi. So I'm looking forward to that because that means it's going to be campy and fun.
Thank you for that, Kinchi.
Did we get the thing or did it escape? Because I wasn't really paying attention.
We did.
So he didn't drop shit for me. What a dick.
Yeah, he didn't drop much of anything good.
Yeah, I have a lot of the same trouble with remembering books, which is obviously why I'm kind of like, there was something about the thing and whatever. So if I do remember something from a book, then definitely there was obviously like a pretty big impact. But the Raven Cycle books are books I think that I'm gonna end up rereading, which does not happen very often. Like I can count on one hand the amount of books that I've reread. And people probably disagree with me, but one of them for me was Wuthering Heights.
The artistic director of the ballet that I work for, that is his favorite. Actually, I don't think he's ever read the book. He loves the movie.
Oh, depends on which movie, but even then,
I think it's the old one, the black and white one.
Okay.
He has an interesting case because he's like, you would look at him and you would not know that he is the director, like the artistic director of a ballet. He's like 6'6", you know, weighs about 200 pounds. He's this ogre of a human being. And he's like very much like alpha male man's man in every aspect of his life, except when you like pin him down to talk about art. And then suddenly he's like, oh yes, my favorite movie is Gone with the Wind. And like, my first day in the office, he was like, I was hanging out in there and all of a sudden I hear the Gone with the Wind theme. And it's like, who has their ringtone as Gone with the Wind?
Just
and
one of my...
sure enough,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, and sure enough, it was him. It's just like, what? What planet am I on?
I always enjoy that though when people subvert expectations.
Oh yeah, he definitely does that. It's pretty funny.
But what was I gonna...
I need to go back.
I don't remember what I was gonna say now. Crap. Oh, right. With Wuthering Heights, one of my issues with the adaptations I've seen, and I don't really count the old one because, I mean, when was that gonna happen anyway? But, oh, can I close?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
But it's, like, pretty much, like, a major plot point that Heathcliff is Romani.
Right.
Like, that's one of the major reasons why his character is treated the way he's treated, and, like, it's kind of, like, a core part of who he is, right? But
Right.
when there's adaptations, it ends up just being some sort of handsome white guy.
Yeah, I
like,
have noticed that.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, okay, but I mean, you're literally removing a huge part of his character. Like, and I'm gonna go back to Dragon Age for a second here, because this was also an issue that I had in the third game, because I'm a big giant nerd and I read all the books. So when I was playing the game and one of the characters comes out that was in the book, I find that they've made her quite pale, and in the books they make a very like it comes up quite often in descriptions of her and stuff that her skin is dark. And I'm kind of like, so which game dev fucking screwed this one up? Like
Right.
like the person who wrote the character is now the head writer of the games, like from where, if they're going to continue from where they like this third game. So it's not like he wasn't a significant writer even to write the whole novel along with a whole other, you know, like he was in charge of entire parts of the story in this third game. And it's like, I mean, who was the one in the design room doing this?
Right.
Because she doesn't look like what she's supposed to look like. So it makes me really mad. I'm mad, bro.
And
normally
on
I try not to care too much about that, but-
on that we have come full circle.
Yeah, and we're still pissed.
Yeah.
We're all still grumpy
Everything
tonight.
makes us mad.
No, this is fun. I'm getting all new gear because
yeah,
my drops have sucked.
Yeah, no, I've had like shit all. Like, I mean, most of the time I try not to make too much of a deal about, like, you know, the way characters end up looking necessarily in a story, like adaptation or whatever, because, you know, whatever actors they get are the ones that they're going to get. And most of the time in books, like, really you find that, like, they might give you one or two major features, but it's not necessarily intrinsic to their character. It's just to kind of identify them for you. Right.
Right. Like, I guess the one that springs to
But-
mind for me, honestly, is what's her name from Hunger Games. Like, there's a huge deal that they're like, oh, she's supposed to be a person of color, and I'm like, you know, I sort of can see that, but I could also see her being Sicilian Italian, like with the description that they gave. In fact, that's what I pictured. I guess because, you know, I'm Italian by background, so
Yeah.
you know, that's what I had
There's
pictured.
some characters that are definitely more ambiguous that way, you know. Okay.
But it wasn't like her race was a part of her story.
Yeah.
You know, if she was in fact, you know, African American, and there was, you know, a big deal about, you know, black people in, you know, Panem, then yeah, it matters.
Yeah. But I mean, like, to me, it's also, I don't really see, like, they could have made her a person of color. That there would have been no big deal. And it's the same thing with people arguing about Hermione. And we're like, well, in the books, there's no actual, like, it's not like they sit there and go, oh, she's definitely white, whitey, white, white. Like, you can picture whatever you want, ultimately. And if they had made her black, that doesn't make that character not looking like what she's supposed to look like. You know, because it's not
Right.
described in a way that's, you know, whatever. And I mean, to me, I also have no problem with making somebody POC based on, just because, like, you know, the story reads whitewashed otherwise. So, I
Right.
mean, for example, with the books that I'm reading right now, there are people that are kind of complaining about, oh, well, you know, these characters should be white because they're described, like, this character's supposed to be Irish and this character's, and I'm like, does it really fucking matter though? I mean, there are black people in Ireland, first of all, and second of all, like, so, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but the point is that, like, the background may be something that, you know, she mentions in her writing of the character, but that isn't intrinsic to the character, so making them POC really doesn't take away anything
Right.
at all. But there are certain characters where their appearance is something that is pointed out constantly, and it is somewhat intrinsic to their character. In this case, with the Dragon Age game, for me it was. Partly because she's an elf, which is a marginalized race in the series. And so, you know, you've got, like, kind of parallels and all that. So, and the fact that there does tend to be issues with whitewashing characters in video games anyway. But the one character thing that I will never ever in a million fucking years forgive, and we're back to Anne Rice on this, by the way, is the adaptation of Queen of the Damned. And no, I'm not talking about Akasha, because I think that of all the things in that movie, Aaliyah did a fabulous job of being Akasha. Like, I have no problem with that. Yeah, she was described as being pale white statue, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I'm not that attached to that. they still did a good job with how they did that. I don't care. My issue was Marius, which, if anybody doesn't know the stories, like the Anne Rice novels, one of the major characters, I mean, like Interview with the Vampire is sort of like the introduction to this particular vampire world and lore. So you learn about Louis primarily, and then he ends up getting involved with Lestat, and Lestat's apparently a dick, and you kind of don't like him in the first book. But then he's the main character pretty much from then on. Like from the second book, you get Lestat's side of the story, because now that Louis has kind of outed vampires to the rest of the world, whether or not they've actually believed that the story is real or not is neither here nor there. But so like now Lestat's like, well, he made me out to look like a bad guy, but let me tell you the real story of who I am, right? And one of the things that you learn throughout the books is that he was involved for a while with Marius, who is a character, like he's about 2,000 years old. He's from ancient Rome. And one of the big things that to me is very much important and intrinsic to their characters is that Marius looks a lot like Lestat. And so, I mean, I don't care if you decide to make Lestat an Asian man, fine. But that means Marius has to be Asian too. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if you make your Lestat some Irish dude instead of a French guy, fine, no big deal. Then why do you make Marius again, Lestat in the book is described as, having golden blonde hair, and he's the brat prince. He's very, very beautiful, and he wears red a lot. That's his, sort of his thing. Marius has, therefore, the blonde hair, and he actually does wear red a lot, and there's a whole thing about him basically having a hissy fit because he's like, that's my thing, you're stealing my thing. And,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, and he gets really mad about it. And, there's like a whole thing about that. And basically in the movie, not only do they completely change how Lestat was made, which is, again, intrinsic to his character and the reason why he is the way he is as a vampire, they make Marius his sire. And they make him not look anything like him, and they basically change Marius entirely, who was one of my favorite characters in the entire series. So I basically was like, this movie is dead to me. Because it's like, I mean, there are a lot of things that you can change that I'd be fine with. But if this is the thing that you change, what is even the point? Why did you do that? Did you even care about the source material? Like, this was before Twilight. It's not like
Honestly,
they were
probably
fucking
not.
banking on the Twilight thing. So it's just like, I'm still mad about it. And I don't even care about Anne Rice shit anymore. Just, he was this balding Italian guy. And, like, I mean, the whole point was that Lestat was made by this guy who literally was like, here, you're a vampire now, and I'll kill myself, see ya. And Lestat was kind of like, who, what, where, and had absolutely no guidance whatsoever, didn't know anything about, like, what the rules were, or how they generally did things, or what they weren't, what was frowned upon, and all that kind of stuff, which is why he kind of did this whole, like, brat prince thing, where he's like, I just do what I fucking want. And that's kind of why Akasha woke up in the third book, and like all this stuff started happening, because she's all like, oh, you're wild, I like you, let me take your energy and rule the world. And like, it's just whatever. I have feelings. I'm okay.
It was the angry stream.
Yes.
Oh.
Also, I hated Jessie in the movie, but that's neither here nor because she was not a very significant character, but they needed to make it some sort of straight romance. So I guess they made her, and she had this whole thing with Lestat that I'm just like, I don't remember reading any of this. This is not the book at all. Thank you. The fries are good enough.
I have a feeling Duck has to get in bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I'm done.
Yeah, we're gonna have to stop here because I was hoping I was going to get to take a day off for my birthday, but apparently the employee handbook was modified before I was hired so that is not actually policy anymore. So I still have to go to work tomorrow. So there's my bit of being pissed.
You're participating.
So, when do we want to stream next?
Like,
Do we want to take the week of Thanksgiving off completely?
I'm thinking that might be best. Simply, like, part of me was like, well, maybe we could do it on Tuesday. However, that would leave us no time to pack.
Yeah, we leave for Memphis the next day, so we may just be off next week, and it'll be a crapshoot as to whether or not I can make stream the following week because we are into Nutcracker. It is officially 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
We are, yeah, 4 weeks from open.
So how about well, the reason is, yeah, we leave on Wednesday to drive to Birdie's side of the family, and then we're there Wednesday night, Thursday, and then Friday morning we drive another 5 hours to my side of the family, and we're there Friday and Saturday. We come back Saturday night, and
And then just promptly die.
well, no, we've still got we still have church to deal with, and then we're having our Friendsgiving, in which we unpack all of the shit that may or may not happen while we're gone. How's like, okay, so we're close to 70. Do we want to not play these characters, or do we want to just try to like actually get to 70 on our own? That way we can
I'm
start
gonna say
gaining.
let's get to 70 on our own at this point.
Yeah, it will
Is
take
what I'm
long.
gonna say. Yeah.
Because yeah, the other thing is I'm not dying that much, and
Yeah, and that's boring. Like, what the hell are we even doing this for?
Yeah.
I need to get
When
up
did I
higher
get
so I can
going?
start dragging you guys through.
Like, the only time that I died was when the game itself died.
Yeah, I died and you didn't.
I didn't die at all.
No, I got one shot that one time.
That's amazing. Okay, yeah, so that's not okay.
But I mean, I told you that like this character is made of paper, so like
Yeah.
they're
Okay,
gonna
so
sneeze
cool.
on me and I die.
So we do so we'll get to 70 on our own, and then I guess we'll just see. I don't know what the rehearsal schedule is like. It basically what it hinges on is whether or not there's rehearsal Thursday night, November the 30th. That's what it hinges on.
Yeah.
Because if there's rehearsal, then I'll be there, and I might could come join you late, unless I end up hanging out and talking with people. But yeah, I don't know what life is going to be like that week. I still have to find out.
Well, another thing that I can suggest for those of us who enjoy just the babbling and stuff, just because like I'm not much of a streamer, but could do voice chat.
Yeah,
But you know, not in certain chats for certain people to also join.
that's fair.
Who shall not be named.
Oh, I have no idea what that echo is going on there.
I'm not hearing any echo.
It might be my mic picking up Birdie from down the hall in the other room.
Hello.
So I tell you what, for anyone who follows any of our Tumblrs or even follows me on Twitter, we will make we'll say as soon as we figure out, okay, this is when we're going to get to stream again, we will go ahead and post, and just so everyone knows, and that way you're not finding out like an hour beforehand going, oh god, because that would
Yeah, because
suck.
it's going to be a little wonky for the next few weeks. Because also, I mean, obviously, I'm going to be out the first week in December because it's show. I'll be making magic happen.
Making trees fly and whatnot.
So, all right. Well, I guess I will talk to you guys later. This was fun.
As always.
And we'll keep everyone in up to date, and so until next time, thank you so much for watching and joining along, and we will eat some more pixels next time.
Nom 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 nom.
So good night, everyone.